Phoenix.
And I'm sure that Tamworth team will be looking to say, we're the Brit Bowl champions. We should be number one. You need to take it from us. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I know people at both programs. I don't want to say too much about either side. The two programs that we look up to when you talk about family and togetherness. When you look at the London Warriors and the urban setting and what they do, the glimpse they gave us when they were on the TV show, you can see how tight their bond is. And, you know, I go way back with Coach Scott at the Phoenix, and, you know, some of those guys have had stellar careers inside and out, all over the country, all over Europe, and they've really got something going there as well.
Well, once again, that's a team that developed through the years, Tamworth, to become the Brit Bowl champions, the reigning British champions.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it was a program that developed really, really quickly, rather than like the Warriors, which has been a long-established team. But being in the capital, it's probably paid dividends for them. They've got a good base of players to tap into. And Phoenix have produced well. They've produced some good coaches, and quite deservedly last year won the title. Who knows? Could he keep that crown now?
Well, look, there's only one way to find out, and that's next weekend. But let's forget about that. Let's get back to today. What are you looking for Baffa's view of things for today's game?
Well, we're happy from the perspective. We know it was only an 8-game season for a lot of the teams, but for the likes of Aberdeen and Chester today, you've got two teams here. Aberdeen, fairly new team, come through the ranks.
4 or 5 years old, I believe.
Yeah, and they've done quite well. They've progressed really, really well, built a good team, and made it into the final, of course. And then you've got Chester, one of the oldest teams in the country.
Absolutely, almost one of the founding teams.
Very much so. And again, they're here. They deserved their place. They're currently ranked number 2 going into this game, but it's anybody's game. It depends who wants it most on the day.
Yeah, I think we're going to see two teams that are actually quite evenly matched in terms of their offensive styles and output, and it could come down to the defenses. But firstly, Gary, thanks very much.
No
we
problem.
might have you pop in later on and give us your thoughts on the first half.
No problem.
And
Gary, hope it all goes well.
what we'd like to do now is welcome on all the way from Aberdeen, Bryce Stevenson, the defensive coordinator for Aberdeen Roughnecks. So, Bryce, I spoke to you before the game. If you could just hold your microphone up quite high. Talk to us about this undefeated regular season, 2 playoff wins, the last one against a highly fancied Birmingham side, and now this the chance to cap it off with what is the perfect season before promotion. What are you looking at tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. We've performed well, obviously, throughout the whole regular season, and it was a big change at the start of the year for us. But we knew
new coach and staff across the board.
But we knew that we were capable to come in and take this team from a Division 2 team, and our goal was to take them to Division 1. That was and be then competitive in Division 1, and that's something that we're wanting to look forward to, and we're hoping that we can achieve. And there's no real reason that I see that we can't do that if we continue on the gradient that we're currently.
Well, interested. I mean, you could end up, you will end up playing East Kilbride Pirates, you know, a team that's been right at the top for many, many years, and they've had a difficult season coming down. I mean, what sort of a lift would that give you guys next year? Saying this has been, you know, for a number of years, the top team in Scotland. Clearly, we've got Edinburgh now in the Premiership, but these guys have been right at the top.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's an opportunity that our players and the coaching staff alike will relish, and it's something that we're thoroughly looking forward to next year. But as you say, we've got this game ahead of us today, and I've heard it's quite an important one. So,
right, they are playing spread,
yes.
Single back. You've told me you're going to come out with your base defence, a 33 stack, cover 1. What are you looking to stop on this Chester Romans offence?
It's just to stop the big play. You know, we've obviously exchanged film, and we're well aware that we're trying to eliminate the big play. That's how they seem to get a lot of their points. I see how they seem to get a lot of, their successful drives is just big plays, chunk plays. And if we can eliminate that, then, I think we'll stand in good stead for. So,
I mean, we're looking for them to spread the field and get into that quick passing game, that one-step drop. They're really tall quarterback. I think 6'7", 6'8". He's got great vision over the centre. Yeah. Are you happy with your guys giving up underneath stuff that when you get the red zone, you can actually compress the field? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got, like you say, the 3-3 stack, but we've also got various other things that we can do, various other fronts, and we've shown through the year that we're very versatile, and we adjust very well at half time or whenever we feel that we need to adjust. So yeah, that's our game plan going forward today, is just to eliminate the big play and
let's see what the result brings.
Okay, so I've asked Chester Romans, who are they looking at on your defence? First name, edge rusher, a number of sacks so far this season. Number 69, Andrew Watts. We have at linebacker, Robert Hayes. He's there or thereabouts, number 85 on most of the plays. At linebacker, is he middle linebacker?
Middle linebacker, yeah.
And your best cover cornerback, number 22. I would try and pronounce his name, but it's quite
Gamu.
unusual.
We just call him
Gamu. So, I mean, what are you looking? Are you looking for these guys to just stay to the scheme, or are you looking for some sort of pressure from Andrew Watts on this big pocket passer? We know he's not mobile, but he does have a decent vision.
Yeah, I mean, our Andrew Watts is a terrific athlete. For us, he can beat double teams, break double teams. If he goes one-on-one, then that guy's in trouble. That tackle's going to be in trouble trying to take him on one-on-one. The guard.
And will you move him around depending on personnel, or will you keep him one side, for example, the blind side during the game?
No, we'll move him around as we see fit. It's all about, and the guys are really good, football smart as well, coming off the field and telling us what they see, because from the sideline, unless you're elevated, and you can't always see everything. So, the guys are really smart, and they come off and tell me what they see, and then we can adjust to that, and that's something that's great. But we mix it up. We have a lot of different fronts, different stunts. We'll bring heat, and we'll try to move them out off
the Chester offensive coordinator said that you guys start with that 30 front, but you will quite often send 5. I mean, is that purely to get pressure? Are you trying to confuse the offensive line, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of both. Obviously, we're wanting to create that for sacks, and the 3 guys up front are there, and the linebackers can come through the middle or outside. And but yeah, it's both bring pressure and to give them confused looks. When we line up pretty much the same way every time, and the QB doesn't get a great pre-snap read on it, which is something that we work very hard on. Not giving a good.
I mean, they are an air raid offense, so we'll look to read you. I mean, Jonathan, we've had some very good comments here. It seems like absolutely. A very level-headed game plan.
Exactly what we said just before the coaches came over. One of the most important things to do in a bowl game is to remain calm, is to line up correctly, is to execute your job, and ultimately they're the things that are going to win. I think your defense is going to have to tackle well today. Those air raids always end up getting yards after the catch. And, I wish you guys the best of luck. I've been excited to see what you've done so far, Coach.
Yeah, I would say I'm very impressed. Your programme looks really well run. It's obviously yourself and the head coach, Rory, have come in and had success early on, which is a good indication. Yeah. One thing everybody in the team's talked about is buying in. So I would like to say thanks very much for the interview, and I wish you all the best of luck today.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Go well.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Okay, from Aberdeen Roughnecks. Next, I'd like to welcome Robert Walker, the running back coach from Chester Romans. Robert, thanks for coming on. If you just hold that quite close to you.
Yeah, no problem.
So, Robert, this Aberdeen front 7 that your guys are going to be facing is pretty physical, I've heard. They mix things around. You've just heard the defensive coordinator say there, they move things around, they give different looks. What have you been saying to your guys this week in preparation?
It is definitely don't treat them like any other opponent this year. They are going to mix things up. They're definitely going to look to put us off balance. But we've got a great bunch of guys up front. We're just hoping that when it gets to it in the middle, they're going to go out there and beat their man.
Okay, so we know that the Roughnecks defense is going to play a lot of man coverage, especially on the outsides. Cover 1. Is that good for you in terms of the running back getting the ball a lot? Or do you think that's game on and the running back's going to be pass pro? Or do you put guys out in the flats or check downs in the hole, or what are you looking to do?
I mean, I think we'll mix it up depending on what they send. I know some of our receivers are definitely looking forward to it. I think, there's nothing better than getting one-on-one with somebody, is there, when you're out there in the middle and, the blood's rushing through your ears. But it's going to be very interesting, I think, to see exactly how they play and how we need to adjust to it.
Okay, so you're looking forward to it. Jonathan, you got anything to add on that?
Yeah, I'm excited to see this quite this really mixed receiver core, the young guys, the rookie basketballer, number 7, 8, 17. Those guys are going to make catches. I just said to the defensive coach, I think the game's going to come down to tackling. I know you guys are going to get some yards after catch. They want to limit the explosive plays, but ball in hands, athletes in space, perfect surface. I'm excited to see what this holds.
That's it. It's definitely lucky that we get to play in the Astro tonight as well.
I think both teams will be happy it's AstroTurf tonight.
Well.
So, a prediction, do you think it's going to be close? Do you think it's going to be a cage game? Or do you think we're going to see a shootout with both teams scoring points? I mean, what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, selfishly, I'm hoping it's a walk in the park, personally. But I think it'll be a nice close game. Just, fingers crossed that we can pull it through and take one home.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for the interview, and hopefully we'll be able to chat to you again later on, and wish you all the best. At the moment, both teams are in the dressing rooms. We're just about to walk out to their introduction music. We'll have the coin toss mic'd up so everybody will be able to hear. The referee's mic tonight. So thank you very much for your time, and you can go and rejoin your team. I appreciate the effort.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So, Jonathan, we've had a chat. We've had a chat to both teams' representatives. One thing I will say, which ties in with you saying that we've got proper programmes here, is they're both on message. It seems to me that both of these teams have set themselves up at the start of the season. With Aberdeen's talked about buy-in, Chester's talked about they've had 3 or 4 years and they're now at a position where they're going to stay up, and go up. They seem to have a lot of football knowledge there. They seem to be not worried about the game, not trying to do anything flash. I mean, would you be happy to see your players and coaching staff like that before a big game?
Yeah, absolutely. Talked today in the level 1 about due diligence and about preparation and how it gives you a base and a platform to perform to your best. If you're not worried about the medical provision and you're not worried about a few different things, you can just go and focus on your game. And that's huge today. It's great that Baffa's got this set up a decent distance in between them.
Yeah, travelling time would have been difficult down at Leeds, I think, for Aberdeen.
Absolutely, and it's fair on all ways. We've got a great surface, focused coaching staff.
7-man crew tonight with the referees. We'll talk about them in a minute.
I'm sure we will. It's interesting. I wish it's something we could experience every week. But it's great to see that they get their day out too, because they're volunteers. They work hard. They have ups and downs. They make great calls. They make bad calls. It happens. They probably make fewer bad calls than I make. But they get their day out on the final, and it's going to be exciting. This is what the game's about.
Now, one thing I will say is both these programs look very similar as they were warming up. Similar size numbers, coaching staff, levels of discipline. I've spoken to both head coaches, and actually quite opposing characters. Yet both have brought out football teams that look very well prepared and very professional. We'll talk about Chester first. His first year as a head coach, and his first year as a head coach here from America, Levi Edwards. Comes out of Savannah, Georgia. He played 1 year at high school, at which point he was injured, couldn't play anymore. He went into coaching at high school level. He was a coaching assistant at college. He's obviously moved over here. As I say, it's his first year head coach. He's brought in a true air raid. Yeah. And he has said, got a little bit of music there. So I'll just cut short. Here we have the Chester Romans taking the field.
I'm feeling this as well. You got to be fairly swaggy to walk out to this.
So Levi Edwards has installed a true air raid, and he's just said they're going to take what they're given. They're not going to do nothing flashy. He says, if they give me the same play over and over, I'm going to take it. But he's quite an extroverted character, quite young as a head coach. We contrast that with Aberdeen Roughnecks. We have Rory Collinson, his first year as head coach here. Another equally impressive season. Quite a quiet man. Quiet and disciplined, organised, focused, I would say. So we've got a complete clash of head coaches, both given what I would say look to be quite a similar product on the field. I mean, how much do you think the coaching style has to play on the playing style?
Well, again, I said it today on the course. You've got to coach who you are. I said it's real tiring to come to practice 3 times a week and pretend to be someone else. I'm 100% sure the drills they're running, the schemes they're running, the way they're treating the players with respect will be the same. And actually, the personality is just the personality. You can be the wildest spread guru and be quiet and reserved as a character. You can be the hardest-nosed double wing running coach and be an absolute crazy guy that loves utter chaos. I honestly think that one of the true things about coaching and one of the true things to be successful is to be yourself. So actually, I'm not too worried about the personalities. I like the look of both of them.
Yeah, they look good programs.
I like the look of both the coaches. I like Chester's sort of mini Jason Scott approach. I'm enjoying that.
So here we have coming out onto the field next, Aberdeen Roughnecks. So once again, both these programs undefeated in the regular season, 2 playoff wins, already guaranteed promotion to Division 1. But this is where it's at. This is the thing you remember, isn't it?
I'm enjoying it as well. I love the mind games. So we've got the 2 slow stride outs. I said they hit the sideline and run out. I love it. I love all the little mind games because I've been there in that week when everyone's like, what are we going to do? Are we going to run? Are we going to burst? Are we going to walk? And it's part and parcel of it. It's so much fun.
Yeah. I mean, just having a look if we can see the Romans team. Number 10 now. I know I've said before he's tall. Their quarterback, Byron Ward. I mean, he really is at the helm of this spread offense for the Chester Romans.
Yeah. Well, the spread offense is such a wide thing. It really is a way of doing things that your QB's capable of. We've got a big dude, big arm, pocket presence.
I did ask him if he would if he was flushed out whether he would run with it, and he just looked at me as if I was insane.
Yeah,
so
well,
he can say
he's got the knee brace already. You know,
he's firmly in the realms of Dan Marino.
Before.
He's either going to throw it away or take the sack.
Although to be honest, if he was coming at me, I think I'd have
He's
to
a
go
big
low.
guy, but,
I'd have to go low.
I mean, that's nice for your offensive lineman. You think there's a guy that's going to stand back there and take the licks, take it right up to the absolute last minute and give you the chance to make that first down, that crucial touchdown.
He's got the fairly big pads. He's got the rib protectors on. He's going to stand there and sling it, and that's going to be a whole lot of fun. And you can get behind a guy like that.
Absolutely. So we talked to Aberdeen before the game, and their quarterback on the other end of the scale, once again spread, preferring trips, single back. They didn't really hype him up much. The offensive coordinator said he wanted a mistake-free game. He wanted to make sure that they put the other offense in poor field position. They wanted to execute, nothing flashy. Oh, here we go, the national anthem of Scotland, or should I say unofficial. Okay, just a minute, just a couple of minutes before we go out for the coin toss. Here's mic'd up. Let's take a little minute to speak about the referees. As I said, we've got a 7-man crew. Just adding an extra little bit of height and tension there.
I put the hand on the heart and I could just feel it fluttering. I can't even, I can't imagine, but I just love this game. I love the guys that play it. Love the people that help out, and this is
7-man crew. At the head of the team, referee Amir Brooks. He actually was part of the crew at the last 2 college bowls. You were part of both. Yeah. 1 win, 1 loss, as we mentioned. He's been coaching 10 years. We have 3 referees. Sorry, he's been refereeing for 10 years. 3 referees up from South Wales on not an exchange, but to share good practice. Umpire Stuart Alger, head linesman Russell Newton, line judge Daryl Morton, back judge Liam Wooten, field judge Daniel Johnson, and side judge Adrian Miller. So a full 7-man crew.
Yeah, and some really recognisable names, some great guys in there. Oh, we're about to go to the coin toss. Oh, I think we'll have a few seconds. It's really exciting for people like Dan and Liam, who tend to do quite a lot of head refereeing in the northeast, to actually get a different perspective on the game.
Yeah.
Because I never...
And a bigger game as well.
Yeah, I never thought that coming here and standing in the commentary booth for, I think it was game 2 of the season, would have been so exciting. But every time I'm...
So Aberdeen elect to receive rather than defer. Obviously want to put their offence out first. One thing their head coach said is they want to control the clock and knock this Chester Romans fast-paced offence off their stride, slow the game down. So we'll now take our position out in the commentary positions, and we'll start the game in just a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
So welcome back to return, number 18, Rhys Elmsley, and number 6, Lewis Hughes. Number 6 is a name that was mentioned. He scored quite a few touchdowns this year.
Yeah, he's elusive in the open field.
And also number 18 as well. They are their playmakers on offence, so we're not holding anything back here. We're putting our best playmakers out on the field.
The type of guys that if they find a seam, they're gone. Let's see. They've lined up fairly shallow for this kickoff. The two banks are quite high, and there's a huge gap behind. I've not seen this kicker's leg. It'll be interesting where this ball lands.
Absolutely no wind whatsoever. Perfect temperature for football. Nice and dry. It's going to be a great game under the floodlights.
Absolutely,
tonight.
And here we go.
Line drive down the middle. Number 18 to field it. Rhys Elmsley. Clean grab. Number 43 on the stop.
Yeah, and then I think
McLean.
right now in a ball game, both teams are happy with that. Secured possession, outside your 20, first hit, nice and solid, nice and clean. It's exactly how you want to start a ball game.
Clean, hard game. Let's just get on with the football.
Absolutely, and let that do the talking.
So let's see if we get our trips single back. Look for Aberdeen to establish a run game early on. Spread.
It looks like they started out. It looks like they've started out in an odd front.
Yeah, 30-man front, 34, I think.
And it looks like we're seeing the rise of this two traditional sort of 4 eyes. That's good. That's a good run there.
25, Diego Esca.
He picks up about 4 or 5 yards on that.
5 yards as well. There was 2 guys there straight away. He kept his knees pumping. He's got that low centre of gravity I love on the spread game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're going to spread your guys out, you're going to create vertical seams. He shot up it, pumped his legs, and we've got 2nd and 5.
So we saw jet motion there, faked the handoff to see what the linebackers would do. Still in spread.
It's going to be really interesting, and there's a big point of contention with offensive coaches, how are we digging these 4 eyes out against the spread? Because if you've got to hope that your nose can fill those gaps.
So number 1 targeted, Sean Brain. He was open for about a 1-yard pickup with a little bit of space after the catch. Couldn't quite hang on. Brings up 3rd and 5. So what do we see here? We're going to see Chester sit back and defend the pass. So you think we might see something?
I'm not sure. I mean, they look fairly solid on that the first drive, the front 3. We've got 2 solid B-gappers. They've moved nowhere. They've just done a big inside rip. And the nose is saying, I've got these A-gaps. So I think we're going to see something out to the outside.
Hand up the middle for that inside run game. Again, number 54 on the wrap.
And you can see there was the Romans D-line.
Scott Gilliam.
The Romans D-line are just in stuff mode.
They set them out as gap defenders. They're doing nothing fancy. They're pointing exactly where they're going. They're saying to Chester Romans, you're going to have to move us. 3 guys, 3 gaps. It frees our linebackers up. They can do their thing. And at the moment, Aberdeen haven't managed to get anything going there.
Yeah, and here we go, a shield punt.
Nobody back deep.
It's a fake.
For Chester, we have a fake to the left. That stopped easily.
I've got a feeling they're not going to be too happy with that.
No, I mean, that's early on in your own 30-ish yard line.
One interesting point there, I think it was actually the running back was the long snapper. That's, you know, after having 2 big hits this play, driving, blowing, you want your long snapper to be calm, and that snap wasn't much more than a roll backwards. Now, that could be part of the plan, but it didn't work this time.
It did not work out for them. Here we have Chester now. Number 10, Byron Ward. We have spread. On the 30 going in. It's not a good bit of field position.
Yeah, they should snap the ball here. Aberdeen are all at sea.
30 front for Aberdeen, cover 1.
Looks like it's cover 3.
Number 22's deep. Hands off the middle, nothing fancy. Pull, I think that was the left guard or left tackle. Dragged down from behind, but a decent pickup.
Yeah, not bad patience from the running back there. He didn't really look like much was on. Quick go step to the outside.
So we're going no huddle now, so it was a left tackle pulled there. Now, one thing Chester did say, they do have some RPOs off this, depending on what that backside linebacker does. If we see him crash down, they might hit the quick slant to the slot.
I mean, the linebackers have walked out real far. We've got a single high safety, so we've got 6 in the box at the minute. That boundary defender's causing them a bit of a trouble, though, because he's half in, half out.
Pass. Rolls out, short dump to number 7, who catches it, cuts in field, nice pickup.
Yeah, and that'll be the first.
Jake
Looks
Cook,
like
number 7, that's that rookie with a basketball experience, good hands. One thing the coach said, he's a real athlete.
Yeah, and we've got 1st and goal at the 9 here.
That's a bad start for the Roughnecks.
Oh no, they've... We've got about a 1st and goal at the 11-ish.
Tell you what, Druids Park's bad for that. The number of 1st and 10s on the 10.5 yard line, I'm commentating here. So singled out on the right, on the field side. Let's see if they go man on man. Nope, hands it off on the give. Gets to the edge.
There's a flag on the play.
He's pushed out of bounds. It was a flag at the point of attack. Usually a holding.
Strange to come in from the sideline, that though.
Both sidelines are into this game though.
Oh yeah, we've...
Offense, number 78. That's a 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Replay, first down.
There is no.
Now, one thing about
there
this,
is no
Jonathan.
73.
That was that left tackle that pulled previously. And the one thing about this spread offense is it does actually give you that little bit more space. And this brings up quite a bit more of your plays from that playbook. As you get down in that red zone, you start to run out of options on the spread.
You do. It's the eternal dilemma. We found at Durham we score a lot on explosive plays. At about the 30, we're about as dangerous as you can be. At about the 15, it gets a lot harder.
Left tackle pulls again, number 73, tucks behind him, but he's met with a wall.
Yeah. And he shows good patience this time, but the guy on the pull doesn't really make the impact. And it all just gets flowed.
Andrew Watts was there in a hurry. That's that playmaker for that Roughnecks defensive line.
What's real interesting is to see the tackle pull without the quarterback really being a run threat. If the DN follows him very quickly, what is the QB going to do about it?
Singled out on the left, goes for it. That's a nice catch. Did he hang on?
No, I think the DB made a play on the ball.
DB did just enough there. It was high and slightly behind, which meant he had to slow up and come back to it. I think if that ball had been a little bit deeper, that would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, but I tell you what, it looks like great technique by the DB. He's managed to get one hand inside the catching frame. He's got one hand outside to secure the tackle, and actually that arm inside's done enough.
Yeah, So I think we've got man on the slots now. So already we've got the Roughnecks defense has changed. They're going man coverage, cover 1. It's the hitch on the outside. Nice open field tackle.
Yeah, that's a good tackle.
And 4th and 12 on about the 13.
And I think for every defensive back you want to get in the game, everyone knows every linebacker can tackle. Everyone knows every D lineman can tackle. When you're a corner, when you're on an island, one-on-one against an air raid, you get that first hitch. Zero yards after catch.
Hitch, but nice to see there was 2 of defenders in hot pursuit there. I mean, even if he'd held him up, not managed to get him down.
And 22 had bailed on the play really hard, so to come back up and play that, he's done a real good job for his team there.
That's a better coverage cornerback. So we've got trips right on the boundary side, singled out on the left, on that wide side. QB drops back, looks left again for number 7, throws it high and short. That was poor delivery from the QB.
Yeah, although I've got a feeling that the receiver had a bit more space to work there. And this is one of the difficulties with a passing offense at a lower level. When you have a good quarterback, the inconsistencies creep in. The receiver, he has to go to the pylon at that point. If he knows his guy can throw it, he's got the space to work.
It looked like it was running a fade almost.
It did, but then when the DB turned inside, the receiver climbed on top of him. Now, that's usually good technique, unless the QB's going to the back corner.
So turnover on downs. Roughnecks get out of jail there, not conceding the score.
Now, we
Cover two look. Motion. Hands it off on a jet sweep, gets good ceiling. Gets round the corner.
That's a nice football play. The receiver made a great initial block, closed down the cushion, great
Number
space.
18, Kirat Naji on the stop. Good pursuit, got there in a hurry. And they did well to limit them to only 8 yards there. The play side receiver threw a great block.
Great block, but number 43, the corner on this side, the one thing he didn't do is give up on the play.
Yeah,
he got blocked, but he made a great defensive move. He shot his hands, he came off, and he made the guy cut back.
30 front. Okay, that's probably going to either offside or false start.
Yeah. Didn't see the contact, so I think we're going back here.
So not the best of starts for this Roughnecks offense so far.
No.
Still yet to get a first down.
They look big and strong and powerful, but at the minute it seems like the jitters are taking over. I mean, one theme that started so far is the Chester defense. They've been extremely clear in the communication. They're constantly signaling. They're on top of the game plan. They're communicating and trying to minimize any broken plays.
Drops back. Looks deep.
That's
down
a beautiful
the
ball.
To number 18 who catches it. Number 43 pushes him out of bounds. That's a great grab. First down for about 35 to 40 yards.
That's a huge play. Really soft touch.
Number 18, Reese Elmsley, one of their deep threat receivers on the right.
A really soft touch from the QB. He recognised the cushion had disappeared completely. He put it up there, and 18 made a great play.
Nice to see 43 getting there on the tackle. Did enough to stop the touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been all energy so far, but he's in a real interesting ball game here.
Samson McLean, number 43. Timeout from Roughnecks. And what we've got now is, a complete role reversal. Roughnecks pinned back in their own half. One play. Complexity of this game's changed in their favour.
Two good football teams. You don't really like people seeing using a timeout early. I mean, you've just hit them. You've just absolutely torched them up. You've flipped the field position. Momentum's huge. The blood's pumping. Timeout. I think this game.
What would you run on that then?
Well, it almost doesn't matter. You just run whatever your best play is in that situation. I'm a big fan of it. Like, people often know, it's Coach Rooney. They're going to run inside zone at the tight end. Okay. But we're going to bring it. So you better,
Well, you've got to have confidence in your team.
That's how you get people with play actions as well, though, isn't it? You build in that sort of, you self-scout those tendencies, and you say, you know what, I know you know, so I know something else. And I'm the one that gets to pull the trigger. But I want to see momentum at that point. I want to see the heartbeat.
But one thing we did hear the offensive coordinator and head coach for Roughnecks saying is they're looking to slow this tempo down.
Yeah. Taking the timeout doesn't take anything off the clock, though.
Drops back, scans the field, goes across the middle. Number 18 again, makes a good grab. Enough for the first down. And one thing
they're going to say he was escaping, and they've spotted it well short. And actually, I think they're right. I think he catches this, goes down. It's a first. But I actually think, he just gave that up there.
Christopher Breen, number 16, quarterback for Roughnecks, had a long time. He went through three different reads.
He moved his feet really well, though. He was on the centre line, and he came and did a great job under pressure to spring him. But unfortunately, he slips. And I think they're going to march it short.
That's going to be third and short.
Now, we've already seen them full start. We've already seen them go on to have a half jump. Is this the time where the QB tries to buy it and gets a free first down here?
Well, I didn't actually get a chance to ask about the kicking game, so I'm not sure whether we're looking to kick the ball for a field goal on fourth or whether this is 4-down territory for them. Motion right. Gives it up the middle. He's got enough for the first. Scampers through a block.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
nice running. What he did there is he bumped into one of the blockers and he actually stayed low, moved his feet and got around.
we call that slide technique. He didn't change his hips, didn't change his shoulder, just changed his lateral position really quick. I really like the look of this running back. The great thing about that play is O-line earned him the first. He had the first down untouched, and then he got to see, can I finish it? And you know what? He couldn't this time. But maybe in the future he'll get more opportunities.
You get shots though, don't you, in a game, especially in the second half
and
when those big bodies get tired.
And he's got to love the fact that the O-line worked and got him the first for free.
Especially on the left-hand side, it's a big unit for this Roughneck team. Drops back to pass, has time again, misthrows the ball, number 1.
That's incomplete. It was nice design though. They've worked the smoke screen to the left, and this time they come with a fake smoke screen sort of end zone fade. 43 was all over it, though. He had zone coverage.
I think the QB lost grip slightly just as the ball left his hand there, which is why it went high with a pretty poor spiral.
I think he's kind of lucky. Whilst the play design was nice, both the corner and the safety
He threw into double
well.
coverage.
He played it real well.
But 2nd and 10. Motion again. 96 steps down, going into 2 backs. Have a lead play, but it's brought down from behind. At the outside linebacker, number 53.
So a huge amount of pressure there.
Daniel Cotton.
As we can see, though, we're in that zone where the field's compressed. Those apex players are now more in the box than they were previously, and there are free blockers at the minute. Now, can we work this and find someone who's going to come open? We'll see.
It's quite unusual he wasn't schemed up there. It's the outside linebacker at the point of attack. Or is it middle linebacker?
Well, it was because the guy motioned in, so the overhang had kind of lost his pass responsibility a little bit.
Drops back, sacked from behind.
Yeah, and that's a great hit.
Held on to the ball.
Yeah, he holds on to the ball, but you know what? Incredibly pleased to see the Roman player use phenomenal technique, deliver a blow in a legal manner, using his shoulder. That's just a great football play.
Number 25, Tom Petto, he brought a big hit there, completely unblocked. Lowered his chest.
But oh so clean. Oh so clean though. That's
absolutely.
Love it.
The thing is, they have to pick him up. They can't have that happen too many times.
No, and that's 2 plays in a row. Their left outside linebackers come free. They've got to do something about that. Here answers your earlier question. We are going to go for the field goal.
Number 4, Stewart's done. Good snap and holds. The length's good, but it's wide right. As we said earlier, there's absolutely 0 winds today. It's perfect football conditions.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it looks a good snap, good hold, not too much of a rush, but that's quite a long field goal, you know.
Yeah, he spotted on the 19-yard line. I reckon
36.
he probably had another 7 yards in him. So their coaches must be thinking, if we can get to within about the 26, we can kick a field goal.
Yeah. And as we've seen so far, we've got 2 explosive offenses, but 2 defenses that are up for it. This could be a real close game.
Still 0-0. So we have press on the outside, so number 22
the
Bailey.
Romans have a huge numbers advantage out this side here.
They're throwing the backside on the fade, down the sideline. Well, he read it well. However, he needed to get rid of the ball a lot quicker. The free safety came over, read it perfectly. He was very lucky that was not a pick.
That looked like the classic air raid play 6, you know, just going straight, all vertical. But when they were in this trips formation,
They had numbers.
They had numbers.
3v2.
They were very heavily apexed inside, and the safety's still middle of the field. So I want to see them back in that formation when it really
Hands
matters.
the ball off. That left tackle pull play again. Once again, he doesn't really pick up much of a A block from number 73. He's a big unit and he's an athletic for his size, but he's not really made things happen.
At the minute, I think he's turning a little bit too much in the into the pull. I think he'll be excited to be getting out there.
Yeah, Mike Thompson, number 73. That's the third play they've pulled him to the right.
If you open your hips too much, big dudes struggle to get round the corner and make a violent strike. And actually, yes, the running back's being patient. Yes, he's going sideways, but he wants to turn upfield.
So it's a pass set from 73. We're going to throw the ball.
But look at this. We've got 3-on-2 again with a huge apex. If we get verticals with an outbreaking route, the out's going to be wide open.
Drops back. Throws over the middle.
It's a first down.
A lovely catch for first down. James Sharrock, number 86, on the first down grab. No huddle once again. Keep this Aberdeen Roughnecks defence on the back foot.
Well, the coach is out here trying to buy lottery tickets at the minute. Take as many shots as possible.
From 69 on a quick dump off.
Oh, the ball's out.
Aberdeen are signalling they've got the ball, but no confirmation yet.
Number 4 definitely had a shot at it. Not number 4, sorry. The Aberdeen player had a clean shot at it. If he's not come up with this, he's going to be very disappointed. He has.
Turnover.
Roughnecks had a huge momentum swing. Other players lost this intensity. The 69 isn't taking a step back. Now, we've got loads of flags in strange areas here.
That was banned from the sideline, you should know that. Personal foul, dropping the snapper by the defence. That's a half distance penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Actually, it's right in the game. The ball's going to be spotted at the 13-yard line, meaning that most of if you run a dig. He's watching. No, he should be rolling. He's got a real confidence. It's great to see the travelling support. There's no flag on the far side, so I think he made a legal pass. I think the touchdown's going to come. I mean, no one was close to the line of scrimmage, and I was worried he'd gone over, but that looks good. It's unsportsmanlike conduct, so it probably means the touchdown's going to stand. It was just Mr. Romans, after he made the catch, he said something. He's apologised.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offence number 8. That's a 15-yard on the PAT. This is number 8, first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
On the next field goal, I fancy return his chances.
Sorry, I'm fucking sorry. We've been waiting for like 10 minutes.
I'm also wondering, is there a choice? I'm also wondering, is there a choice? Dead ball? No, they may have given Roughnecks the option.
Let's get nice and aggressive, show that up for Barry so we get to second and stop, yeah?
If it's an option to make taking this on the run. Number 8, he's up near the 35. He's doing really well.
I'm getting knocked out by Gillimore, I'm getting knocked out
That was a sort of TV,
I thought it was on me, because as he went over there, I was like, please stop catching me. Hit him in the nose.
Just overheard it.
Guys, make some noise to your defense! Because it wasn't, hey, you didn't hit him.
What's the ball, lad? Check, don't jump! Go defense! Defense! What's the ball, lad? What's the ball? Defense!
It looked close.
I will say this, 16 stepped up and took his licks. I mean, the pressure was in his face. So trips left. Got cornerback and a safety over them. Looks left, goes long down the right-hand sideline on the fade.
Yeah, the cornerback was in phase even when he slowed up.
Yeah, I think the cornerback was fast there. He did a great job of looking the free safety off to the trip side, but
they can't.
Speed-wise, it just didn't have it.
Roughnecks have really made a meal out of that though. First down, 8-yard gain. Second yard, 6-yard loss. Third down, incomplete. And here we go. We're punting 3 minutes back. 3 minutes left.
What we said is even without a score, you want that offense to get a couple first downs and show at least we can be productive. Good snap. Nice punt towards the sideline. Catches it on the bounce.
I really like that there from the returner. He's done extremely well because he stops that last 5 yards of bouncing. It's a good play.
Yep, 82. Graham Reith in the open field tackle, got him out of bounds. As you get teams that are turning up to practice, you're getting quality practice sessions. That's the sort of thing you can actually practice with those returners. Have decent, high-quality special teams, you know.
And being able to afford a coach to coach your returners.
Oh yeah.
Because normally you've got your snapper, you've got your punter, you've got your coverage guys, you've got your return, and you know quite often the returners are just the best guys who are given a job, but proper clubs will have a structure in place to make sure that a return specialist
Aberdeen,
is getting coached.
Got trips to the right, Aberdeen leaving this central receiver and the trips completely uncovered. They're looking man.
It's crazy.
Let's see what this quarterback does.
And a blitz.
Backside. He's going downtown. There's nobody there. Oh, Romans got out of jail free there. That was really
Roughnecks. Yeah, the Romans
Roughnecks
missed
got
the
out of jail
chance.
free there. There was big holes in that defensive secondary, and the quarterback saw it. He just couldn't quite get the ball on target.
He's just got to throw it a whole lot easier. His receivers have got a whole load of time.
I mean, the intention was there. He just didn't deliver it.
It seems like a crazy idea though to go 1 versus 3 on defense and send the blitz. It's high risk, high reward. Ball's out.
Ball. Romans ball.
Roughnecks ball.
Roughnecks ball. I'm going to get it right soon.
Go for white. Go for white. White ball.
That's why I have you here, to stop me making stupid mistakes.
Right now, we've got a game of 2 teams.
Well, I tell you, this could be the chance to Roughnecks to just sneak in the
Who
lead.
are trying,
it can't be long in this half.
Who are trying really hard to mess this up. It's a tough thing. The nerves, the energy, the excitement. You're playing in a venue you've never been
Flag
to before.
On the play after the fumble.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit.
Oh, that just compounds the issue as well.
That's a 15-yard penalty from the succeeding spot.
The Romans defensive coach must be looking at the offense at the moment and saying, come on, give us a break. We're doing all of the right things here. You have to contribute.
Yeah, and this is Roughnecks' best field position right before the half.
Yeah, I mean,
this is going to be real interesting.
This could be the go-ahead score. You know, if they can kick. So we've got man coverage, it looks like. 2 deep. Expect a run here. 93 drags him down from behind. I mean, against the scheme there, they had man coverage. So 4 people playing cornerback. You had 2 safeties. You only had 5 in the box. You should be able to run this ball, you know, for 3 or 4 yards all day long.
So someone's boots come off. He tried to throw it off the field and tried to stay on. The refs have pointed out you can't play football without a boot. Yeah, and the centre tried to cut the nose, but the nose isn't coming hard enough for that. And the nose just looked at him and was like, why have you dived on the floor? You know, you're running some sort of zone scheme up front, and your centre's got a one-on-one block with a nose.
It's all about those hips.
Yeah.
The hips there.
Test, I have 3 timeouts remaining. Aberdeen have 2 timeouts remaining.
Aberdeen should only have 1 timeout.
Yeah, Aberdeen should only have 1. They took one real early.
I mean, it's 2 neutral commentators with a lot of neutral fans here. I hope the Roughnecks score and tie this game going.
Oh, 100%. And I hope they make the 1 point as well, and I hope they go in with a lead. I think overall the edge in this game,
Romans,
if you take 1 drive out of it, the Romans haven't shown me enough. For all the promise, they haven't shown me enough. If you take that 1 drive
I would shade the Romans just because they've done enough to get that 1 score. Number 25, that's a great haul. Number 71 did some great lead blocking there. He pushed his man a good 5-6 yards back. Number 25 just sat behind him, stayed low, didn't commit.
That's a great play all around.
Is that enough for a first down?
No, it's short. It's going to be 2 or 3. But yeah, I think without the special teams sort of mess up, without the special teams penalty, the Romans, well, quite simply, they don't score that drive.
Man coverage again, cover 2.
Oh,
High
here we
snap
go.
Over his head. Is he going to pick it up? Well, he made the right decision there. He just ate the ball and took the sack. As you said, two teams here at the moment, neither of whom's offense is firing in all cylinders.
Whoever puts the lid on this first and cuts out these mistakes stands themselves in real good stead, because right now it's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, I think with these two teams, though, at the half, they're going to make some adjustments. I mean, that's why they're both undefeated in the regular season. They're clearly able to adjust, get rid of mistakes.
This is another ambitious field goal attempt.
He's on the right hash. Stuart Dunn.
Oh, he's
gets
caught it, though.
It's the lead to 6-3.
There we go.
That was a nice boot.
You could hear it. It's straight away. So we're looking at...
You could probably
45.
Yeah, I think you could take one ball spotted at the 30, I think.
Yeah. So the 49-yarder before, he was nowhere near.
Just been informed, 37 seconds left now. Now 37 seconds remaining. Kick into a spread offense. QB's gone arm on him. Are you going to take a shot on first and second and then play conservative?
It depends on how they line up. I've not really seen the Roughnecks kickoff team. Actually, a whole load of athletes have just run on the field. At this time, I like to kick it at an O-lineman and put the
short return, but something that's guaranteed.
And you
not
know
to
it's
break.
going to take 20 seconds, to pick it up, rumble a bit, bring him
Fumble
down.
around the ground.
Exactly.
He's going to pick it up and run for 7
but they've got a
yards.
good spread of athletes, so I'm kicking this deep and playing for field position.
Gets a hold of it again. Quite a low kick out the back of the end zone.
You can't be happier with that, can you? A touchback in that situation.
Well, it takes the onus off your special teams. What it does mean is we've seen a couple of what I would call errors. You've called gambles in the secondary on the Aberdeen Roughnecks. They've shown quite patchy coverage and sent some people instead of covering on a blitz. Do we think we're going to sit back and just defend and be sensible?
I think,
think
that's the sensible thing to do.
I didn't ask you that. I said, do you think they're going to do that?
No.
Number 69, putting real pressure. Number 90 coming in.
It was 92, I think, the right outside linebacker. He came on the blitz. He timed it up.
We only had 4 men on the rush.
Yeah, there's only 3 D linemen. And he was the 4th. Number 92, just the right outside linebacker.
So we've got cover 1. Drops back, looks to his right. Nothing underneath.
Tackled in bounds. That should be the half.
I mean, for me, that's pure play selection. Play selection there. You've got enough time that you can take 2 or 3 shots and punt it away, and the half's over.
Yeah. Now they've got them pinned at 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16. So I'm pretty sure they've had 3 timeouts now, and that could play a huge key because it's 3rd and 15. They stop them and they get another free timeout. That's huge. Am I wrong about that early timeout?
That is their final timeout.
Because if they gave them an extra timeout, this is the exact situation you can profit from. But the issue is as well, if they've told them they've got 2, and the head coach takes one,
they play it.
You can't really say, "Oh, sorry, surprised you've got none now." So they're saying they're taking a knee, but they've just said they've got 1 timeout left. They mustn't have.
QB takes a knee to finish out the half. Well, I think 6-3 at the moment is a fair reflection. The two teams have been quite evenly matched, and neither offense has really taken control of the situation.
It's in the wheelhouse of being fair. Roughnecks are going to be extremely disappointed that they made that special teams error.
Welcome back. I know we've been having a couple of technical issues this half, but we're going to keep broadcasting. We're going to keep commentating. I'd just like to say the guys that have been doing this stream work incredibly hard. There's a very large crew. At the moment, we've got 4 people in charge of cameras, sound, microphones, stream quality, cutting between. And people don't say this, so I'd just like to say a big thank you to them. This is the first season they've been doing it at Vikings TV.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Vikings TV, and particularly Nova Radio Northeast, the internet radio show, they've come and give us a different look in at the game. There's been some great football played in the Northeast for years, and it's really great to see.
Well, some of it's been captured in that when we had the Vikings-Steelers game here. I mean, you could not ask for a better advert for British football than a game won in the dying moments by a single point on what was a shootout, but also where defensive stops were key in the game. I mean, and it's great to know that people can watch. It's great that other teams can watch it and compare themselves from around the country and different conferences and different divisions. But
you know, we're starting the college football season in the States today. There are millions and millions of English-speaking fans with no football to watch in the summer. Now, we're not quite at the level where we're going to get thousands and thousands checking in. But if we don't start the process and we don't grow the streams, we're never going to get there. So we may as well, you know, the help of these volunteers, put on a show and try our best to say, hey, we're out here and we are going to put on a show all the way through summer, almost every week.
Well, that's the thing as well. I mean, this is the first year, and I didn't realise the technical challenges posed by something like this are absolutely huge. I thought you turn up and plug on the internet. Oh, no, I mean, these guys are here hours in advance, setting up, doing checks, levels, etc. But, you know, they've let us do this, but let's just quickly sum up that first half, have a little break, and then we'll see what the second half's going to bring. So, I mean, what for you has summed up that first half? 6-3 to Romans. Would you say that was fair?
Yeah, it's in the wheelhouse of being fair. It's a close game. It's a defensive struggle so far. The game has been littered with big momentum-changing mistakes.
Yeah, I think errors have been key so far.
And whoever can get the lid on that, whoever can manage that, because actually both of these teams are really good at playing football. They've put on a good show. Romans have had a couple of drops. They clean that up, they'd be at a huge advantage. Roughnecks,
and a fumble.
Yeah, Roughnecks,
crucial fumble.
Yeah, absolutely. Roughnecks have had, you know, one poor drive on defense, but the rest of the time have been absolutely awesome. They've had one bad special teams penalty. I mean, hitting the snapper is a no-no. The referee tells you not to do it. This is, you know, a scrimmage kick formation, nothing below the waist. Leave the snapper for a second. I know, I'll hit the snapper.
Yeah, I mean, that cost their team big. It gave them a fresh set of downs, which ultimately led to that touchdown. And once again, a bit of ill discipline after the play, then cost the Romans, you know, a short chip for the extra point, and they subsequently missed, giving them only 6 points. We know that Aberdeen can kick the field goal. They've got decent range.
They've hit
an extra
44. They look like the other 44 was good. The 49 wasn't, but we know that's around. That's a big range.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I think it's which of these offenses is going to start coming out and executing properly. Because at the moment, neither of them have hit the stride. Their defenses have come out, and as I said earlier, this is the first time, or these are the best defenses you're going to face all season. That's why you're in the bowl game. Your bowl games are won by defenses. But I would like to see a change, or maybe just. It's difficult to describe, but they seem tense at the moment. Well, they don't seem like they're coming out and enjoying it on offense on either side.
And it's a little bit stop-start. From the from the Romans, I've not really been able to identify why stick. I know it's a huge play for the air raid guys.
I don't think they've run that. They've thrown over the middle, but it was on I've seen mesh. I've seen them hit a corner over the middle, but they haven't run the stick.
I think there's space in there to get that number 3 receiver the ball, and it's just going to be an extended handoff and a run play. But the other thing is, if they get that called up against that safety blitz, that speed out is gone. Gone.
I think Roughnecks' defense has relied a lot on that really good quality pass rush, especially off a 30 front, because we've seen some holes in the secondary. Not for individual players' ability, but scheme-wise, I've seen some things I wouldn't call. But they're at the moment they're hanging their hat on the ability to get pressure on quite a slow quarterback for the Chester Romans. When he gets flushed out of the pocket, he's very, very slow.
Yeah, and actually that's a great point, because we've noticed they've run mesh 2 or 3 times. They've not yet completed a mesh.
They run it very, very deep as well.
Yeah,
very deep.
They run it very deep. They run it very slow. And 69 at the minute is giving us a clock. And he's just saying that actually Mesh isn't in your playbook because I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
he's got pressure. He's come off the right-hand side of the Romans line. And I mean, for the Chester Romans, I've said a lot. I like the look of the left-hand side of their offensive line. They don't seem to be using that as much as potentially they could. I mean, you look against a 30 front, the defensive end they're going up against, number 9, it's not the biggest of guys. Then beyond that, second level, you're talking about linebackers against these big rumbling linemen.
Yeah. And one of the most difficult things to do as a coordinator in these pressure games is you know that people are watching, you know that you're getting analysed. So
call the boring plays that win you the game.
Exactly. So you see things like, I've got trips to the field with only 2 guys over. I'm going to do smoke screen with 1 vertical option. And you're out thinking yourself.
Let's get back to what got you an undefeated season.
I think zone left pastes this defense. And you
just
go and run it.
You run it. Because they got about 7 or 8 yards. The defense got guys and numbers. They were just steamrolled. I mean, for me, I would be looking to do that until something changed.
Yeah, I'm not sure that 4 zone lefts in a row don't get you the first every time at the minute. Until the Roughnecks show that they can stop it. Because we've had a few drives where we went like, boom, down the field, first and 10, we go for 7 yards, then we come back, then we drop the ball. That's a momentum killer. You know, so we want to see positive play. We want to see aggressive up front. I'll say one thing I am massively impressed with both teams is they've both got full lines, O-line and D-line. There isn't too much both ways action. It's going to be a real test of who's fit at the end of the game.
Yeah, I think
who's still bang, because right now both lines are playing really high level. If one of them drops off and one of the opponents takes over, that could be how the game breaks open.
And I think that's why these teams have been successful. They both have large, and I'll call them programs. They're not teams, they're programs where it's done properly. You have depth in all the different positions. You know, if somebody gets injured, it's not a panic. You know, and that's what wins you a season. That consistency.
When you're playing O-line both ways, and it happens at a lot of clubs. It happens at clubs I'm at. It can be difficult at times not to.
Your performance drops.
Your performance, but sometimes you're in close games at the half, and then you can only win or lose in the fourth quarter. Yeah. So those guys that have teams going both ways tend to fade, but these guys don't. And actually, in Division 2, that's kind of rare. And that's why they're at the top of the pile.
Yeah, that's why they're headed to Division 1.
I hope we see 69 late with his energy. I hope we see 92 from the Rough Riders keep it up. Sorry, Roughnecks. And in general, the defensive play has been pretty sound.
Good. Right, we're going to take a short break to get ourselves sorted. Come back for the second half. So, me, Craig Lenahan, Jonathan Rooney, thanks very much. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, and thanks very much for your help so
cheers.
far.
Thanks for watching so far.
Hello, and welcome to the first Gridiron Strong vlog. I'm going to be filming a few of these over the next coming weeks and months, and hopefully you guys like them, so I'll continue them throughout the year.
It was the Division 1 Northern final.
Division 1 Northern final.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, welcome back, everybody. You're here with me, Craig Lenahan and Jonathan Rooney. And before the kickoff, I said I had a few questions to ask you.
Yeah, absolutely.
In case people don't know, you currently have 2 coaching roles,
Yep.
as well as doing level 1 training for
Coach
BAFA.
educator, yeah.
Currently, you were this season adult. You were the interim head coach of Northumberland Vikings, and then the offensive coordinator, offensive Vikings. They've had a great year, 10-0 in the regular season. Beat a really high quality Sandwell Steelers outfit. Run Leicester Falcons, #1 ranked Division 1 team in the country. Run them, I think 15-8.
Yeah, 15.
One score. I mean, a lot of people said
8-7
Leicester
up
were
at the
going to,
end.
me included, thought Leicester were going to win a lot more comfortably than that. So that's been a great adult season for you. But
Yeah,
you came to that team late. The thing I want to talk about, you're also the current head coach of Durham Saints, who are the reigning British College national champions.
Yeah, and it's, like you say, it's been a good year. It's been a good year. We managed
It's been a good. If that's a good year, I'd love to see what a great year was.
Well,
Have a Super Bowl,
well,
perhaps.
Yeah, if we'd beat Leicester, maybe. We managed to string together, I think it was 22 wins in a row, which doesn't happen that often.
I don't think that happens very much. I mean, so how long, can you tell the viewers, how long have you been the head coach now at Durham Saints?
Well, I've done 3 complete seasons, and I'm entering the 4th now. It's in Uniball, that's quite a long time. There's been a lot of chop and changes. We've got a Uniball head coaches group, and I think some of them are about 55% of coaches are 1 or 2 years.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've just completed my first year of university coaching. Loved it.
Teesside.
Teesside Cougars. Going back next year, offensive coordinator. Loving it. One thing I will say, in case people don't know, there was a big change in books. 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
So universities give out points for various sports, and 5 or 6 years ago, American football was included. And universities got serious.
Absolutely.
A number of the top universities started offering scholarships. Usually postgraduate, like master scholarships, also paying expenses and things like that to coaches. And that led, in my opinion, to the biggest improvement in any sort of brand of British football that we've seen since the sort of late 80s, when we could pay foreign players to come over.
I agree with that.
And the quality now of Premiership university football is far and away improved.
I've been fortunate enough to be head coach for 32 games, and I always say we played it's 31 or 32 real games of football. There was one game that was a bit of a blowout, but actually they responded pretty well in the second half and fought back. They were shell shocked early, but they fought and they fought and they fought, and that's kind of rare, because working at the Vikings this year, without trying to be too disrespectful, we knew we were good, and we worked hard, and we worked and we worked and we worked, and we had quite a few blowouts. And you see these scores in Britball every week, 50-0, 60-0, 70-0, and actually they're not that much fun for anybody.
No, and my perspective on that is it's never the fault of the players. It's always the fault of 2 things: your coaching staff and your backroom staff, because that's what builds a program. And a program's something that's successful. Even when they lose, they're able to scoring points, limiting the offense.
I can 100% say the best 3 games of the season were the Leicester game, the Sandwell game, and the final Wolverines game, the 51-48
Your toughest
game.
opponents.
Yeah, because they were real games of football. Football's a game about emotions, and it's about a roller coaster of emotion, and who manages it better. If there's no lows, the highs don't matter that much. I mean, obviously going perfect in a year is incredible, but like winning at Durham meant more because we lost the final the year before.
Very close loss as well. I mean, as far as I'm aware, down to the final kick of the game.
Yeah, we scored a touchdown with a few seconds to go that would have won it, and correctly there was called a chop block on the play. A player used the wrong technique and is easy as stepping left instead of stepping right. And I think even if he makes a legal block, we score on that play anyway, because he wasn't that critical to the play. And it's things like that. They're the fine games, and they are the games of football. And I've got some people on that Stirling team that I love to bits. I'm extremely close
Another
with some
great
of the teams.
program.
Great program. I've had a long history with Rob Orr, and we don't always see eye to eye at the minute, but I respect him a bit.
Sorry to cut you short, Jonathan, but I think we're going to cut to the field action now.
Fantastic.
We're about to kick off the second half. 6-3, Chester Romans leading the Aberdeen Roughnecks. So here we go, mic check. Aberdeen kick off. Clean grab.
Huge play from the kickoff team there. Coaches often talk about the hard hat zone, and although we're trying to take the game, we're trying to take the helmet out of the game as much as possible. On those kickoff plays, when you're faced with a wall of blockers, you have to go be prepared to do some work.
Yeah.
And you know that young man in there, he's not that big, but
Wedge buster.
he
It's more about heart than physical
he lowered
size.
his shoulder, he went straight through the block, wraps up the tackle. That's a great start for the Roughnecks.
So it has darkened considerably. We are playing under floodlights.
Yeah, jury's out at the minute. I'm not sure if I've fully adjusted to myself. I just went inside, and maybe I'm affected by the light a little bit, but it is quite dark.
Audible at the line of scrimmage. Hands the ball off, inside zone. Must have been listening to us at half-time. They ran behind the left-hand side of that line on the zone play.
And unfortunately, they didn't get as much benefit as they could because it looked more like a stretch play. If it wasn't a stretch play, the running back bounced. But you saw a cohort of 3 large 70 numbers together, and you think, if you're up in behind them, I think that play's a little bit bigger.
Interesting to see how they adjust on this second half. This Chester offense, we're looking to get in a rhythm early, short passing game, and it's not worked so far other than one large play. Quick dump. Scampers down the sideline. Did he get enough for the first?
He's done extremely well there.
Number 7, Jake Cook.
I really like the look of Jake. He's played the game well. He's played the game well. He's played the game in the right manner. He's attacked everything. And
so twin trips right. Let's see what Aberdeen do. We've got cornerback number 22 in man. Number 20 looks to be a man on the middle receiver, which means the inside slot is covered by 82, who's probably in a zone.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like...
His hands off, moves right.
Yeah, and that was bad news from the start. One of the offensive...
Number 82, Graham Reith.
One of the offensive linemen pulled into his own player. It looked like his player inside cut someone, left his legs trailing, stripped the pulling guard or pulling tackle, and the defense had a clear flow path.
Fourth down already. That's not the start that the Romans
that play,
wanted.
you were trying to count the numbers before the play, and so was I. I was a bit confused, but I think it looked like they were in sort of a 3-5-3 at that point because they had an overhang safety on the right, an overhang safety on the left, and someone deep middle. So let's see if that's something that they've shifted to.
Yeah. Low snap, bounces off the floor. Did good to grab it. Number 6 underneath. Clean catch. He's wrapped up by number 54.
Well, we can say one thing. Number 6 is a brave boy because
Scott Gillam was there in a hurry.
There didn't look to be much on in that, and the pursuit was excellent.
Yeah, number 54, Scott Gillam. He was singled out by the Chester Romans coach and staff, saying he pretty much runs the middle of their defense.
Yeah, you can see him signaling and shouting every play. I've certainly not seen him miss the tackle yet.
As you said, I mean, if you've got a defensive player that never misses tackles, you can build a scheme around that.
Absolutely, you can funnel things into him and you can build a wall in front of him. They're plugging the gaps well and letting him float and find the ball carrier.
Motion right to the narrow side, into 2 backs. Fake handoff, go for the slant over the left-hand side. It's underthrown. The free safety did a good job there, stepping towards it, number 18. That's Kirat Nagy again. Read the play well.
It was a really interesting setup with the motion, that running back swinging behind, the zone play action. But unfortunately, the linebackers didn't move.
Number 25, great cutback. He's got some real speed.
Yeah,
he accelerated incredibly quickly there.
Vertical. He
No
could have gone to the sideline,
zone.
but he hits it north-south.
I mean, he went right, but he was absolutely lightning fast off that cut, and he got vertical enough for the first down as well. That's what you get with experience. You get somebody who knows where the first down is. They're not trying to bust the big play, make the score. They're trying to just get their nose over that first down line. This Aberdeen program's been around about 5 years now. So guys here from the start, you get that more experience, more game savvy.
Must be an incredible place to be. They've obviously accepted the new coaching staff 100%, and they're all working together on one goal.
Number 16 keeping the play alive, but eventually it's met by number 54.
Now,
we have a flag on the play.
yeah.
Probably offensive holding for a broken play like that.
Yeah, 25 worked back real hard as well to spring the QB initially, but looks like it's all going to be for nothing.
One thing I know, number 69, a playmaker on defense for Aberdeen Roughnecks.
Oh, he is
Andrew Watts is playing on offense at the moment.
Yeah, so maybe his energy levels will fall later on.
I mean, he's been instrumental in.
Ooh. That's.
Is that number 95, defensive lineman? So I wonder if he's gone up top and slapped his face cage.
Yeah, but it was illegal hands to face. Yeah, so I mean, that's the type of penalty that, to be honest, you see with a 7-man crew.
Yeah.
I don't see many of those with a 4-man crew.
But here's the thing, Jonathan.
If it's a penalty, it's a penalty.
Yards and a first down.
On a sack.
On the Romans, yeah, exactly. In the Romans half as well. Fresh set of downs. Aberdeen have to capitalise on this. Number 25 cuts back again. That is good hard running. Meets number 96 with his shoulders down. Number 96, Mark Walker, was introduced to a running back who was not taking no for an answer.
No, and he started this, whenever the coach has said at half-time, he had an impressive first half, but at the minute, if this continues, he's taking over this game.
Yeah, well, they said they were going to try and run the ball. They thought Chester would shut down the pass and they were going to run the ball. To have man coverage, motion left.
Full stop.
Now that play there, number 25 for the Romans defense, had excellent position to shut that down or string it out. I'm not sure about the play call on there because the slot was there to block him, but the slot was quite away, a good 2 yards inside him, which meant number 25, who has had a good game so far for the Romans, was in perfect position. I'm not sure about that. Tom Petto, number 25.
Although there's been a bit of evolution in the jet sweep game. Initially, it was always to get outside the numbers as quick as possible. As forces played a bit more wider by the DBs, we've started to see,
and we've not seen that from the Roughnecks. So
no, we haven't. But it's
plays and they have gone.
But it is there because I know Sterling.
Inside zone, touch to the right again. Flag from the sideline.
Particularly Sterling in its national championship years were huge at doing it. People were trying to say you've got to stop the jet sweep.
Goes back to what
started
we were
turning
before,
it up a bit more.
The coach, I remember reading an article from the coach there saying you do what works, and he talked about the jet sweep. He ran it and ran it.
Yeah.
And by the time they stopped it, the opposition, the game was over.
Yeah.
It was still in the fourth quarter, but I think there were 3 or 4 or 5 scores up.
Yeah.
You know, if it works, you run it until they stop it.
Oh my God! Terrible call again! Illegal hands to the face.
What number? Once again, illegal hands to the face. First down, half distance to the goal line this time because we're getting close to the Romans end zone.
And this is a crazy state of affairs. Currently, the Romans defense are outgaining the Roughnecks offense.
1st and 10 from the 12. The 25 looks like he's going to blitz. He's there. Can he chase him down? Yeah, he gets the tackle.
Strange. Here we go, another flag line. Strange state of affairs this though. The O-line on that play didn't need to do anything. The D-line didn't need to do anything. The running back just ran outside to an unblocked player who tackled him. It's a little bit strange.
Another flag. I think we might have seen Aberdeen being told at half you need to up your physicality on that offensive line.
Okay, so the signalling that sticks are down so that this is going forward and going to be an automatic first down.
Personal foul, face marks.
That's a half. Even the end of the run. Automatic foul.
I think that was personal foul, face mask against number 18.
Yeah, that was the second guy into the tackle. The overhang player had him wrapped. 18 came in to strike at the ball and unfortunately caught his face cage.
Motion left. Cuts it up inside, as you said, but he's met with a wall of defenders.
But that looks like a broken play. The running back was aligned to the right of the QB and did nothing on the play. He watched his teammate get tackled. The whole game is at 6s and 7s here. Like, we're not quite sure. There's penalties, a few missed assignments. whoever
it's very scrappy at the
whoever
moment,
gets a
but
lid on it.
It's very scrappy, but the Roughnecks are in a commanding
Yeah.
position. I mean, they're only trailing
Absolutely.
by 3 points, and they've got second and goal. QB keeps it. Smothered.
And again, the QB was in front of the running back. Now, it looked like there was some sort of fake handoff, but, you know, you've got to, if you're the running back there, you've got to run it like you're scoring and get tackled by someone and convince them that the ball's there.
Yeah, I mean, we've had success with number 25 running the ball on this drive. He's been very physical, he's made good cuts, he's got vertical, and yet we've gone away from him.
Yeah.
As we get towards the red zone,
Yeah.
right when it matters.
Although none of his runs have been...
Because of the offensive
Well,
line.
they've not been because of hitting out of his stance. He's not hit the gap 100 mile an hour. He's skipped, he's waited, he's been patient. When it has opened, he's accelerated. You don't have the time or space to do that here.
That's one of the drawbacks of spread offense in the end zone, in the red zone. QB goes outside. Oh, he's hit just as he went for the ball. That was a great hit from the Romans defense. Number 20 in on the hit.
Now you've got a business decision to make. You're 6-3 down in a final, and it's 4th down.
Well, you can kick the field goal, but the 16 staying on. They're
Looks
staying
like
on
they
now.
won it.
Before the match, I spoke to the head coach, and he said they would take their chances. They will gamble today.
Yeah. I mean,
this is a gamble.
a 49-yard field goal's a gamble. A 20-yard field goal, I'm not quite sure. But
missed one, it's gone wide.
That's true, that's
we've
true.
Had a bad snap, we've had a kick blocked.
But I think on the last 10 snaps, they've not done anything positive
Got to
themselves.
run the ball with number 25 here. There you go. Up the middle, bounces out right. Did he make it?
No, he's short.
So he still made a yard or two down in the red zone. Why weren't they doing that previously?
Yeah. Hey, though, we've got field position.
Now,
I say we, I don't know why.
I know.
I've got nothing to do with either of these
Number
teams.
69 stays on the field for the Roughnecks. He's the man that's been causing all that pressure, but he's now playing both ways.
Yeah.
And this is exactly where you'd want him fresh to try to do some 2 points and get the ball back with a safety.
Absolutely.
Take you 1 point behind.
Hey, any punt off this drive is a great situation.
It's only a 7-yard end
punt.
zone. It's a 7-yard end zone, so you're really backed up. Are they going to stay with that 30 front? Romans are going to stay in spread.
So the Roughnecks are walking.
So we've
so
got man coverage across the board, cover one, and we're in press as well. So what we need is quick pressure from that Roughnecks D-line.
Really interesting point, though. Previously, number 20 was walked out at strong safety, and he's at free safety.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's come from an injury.
Number 44 grabs hold of him. Is that in the end zone, or did he get tackled
forward
just outside?
progress. He's not got much there.
We had 3 defensive linemen with B, A, and B gap, but both outside linebackers were walked up and they blitzed that C gap. So you've only got 1 gap uncovered, but you're fielding that with a safety. So it's a bit of a gap, and that happened to be the gap that the Romans ran up. Fortunately, they got enough movement off the line at number 44, got his arm around him and managed to bring him down. But you're gambling there.
You are, absolutely.
This is why we love the game of football, though.
We do.
Gambling on the press coverage, cover one, you're gambling on the blitz. Sometimes it wins.
Actually, they had 3 men man to man, 1 man backside, 1 safety. That's 5. They should have had 6 guys for 6 gaps there. I don't know if we miscounted, but I didn't see it. So I mean, I didn't see the 6th defender.
There must have been a middle linebacker.
There must have been. He must have been wasted.
He didn't get in on the tackle. It was one of the D tackles.
He must have been wasted in a covered gap. Have we got an identity on who's down?
Can't see at the moment. We can see the ball spotted though, Jonathan, on about the half-yard line, which means you've got 7.5 yards to punt. Number 45, Christian Taylor, walking off.
So he was, I think he's brought in as a bit of a heavier back, and he's tried to get some hard yardage there, but it's not really paid off.
So a worse position than the previous down, 2nd and 9.5 on your own half-yard line. Drops back to pass, throws a slant underneath. Not quite there.
I've just felt my first drop of rain as well, and I think that's going to favour the Roughnecks.
Yes, I mean they've been run heavy the second half especially. Number 1, slow to get off. Number 1. Looks like a cramp there, Jonathan.
Yeah, it's a tough one because a lot of these guys won't have played a night game before.
Yeah.
Most people will have had one meal before their average game. You know, when you're at this level and you're exciting and you've got the nerves, you sweat that little bit more. You lose that electrolytes. You've been on a bus for 4 or 5 hours on the same day. You know, it's all those factors change, and been fantastic in our approach with our physiotherapy team to say, hey, you've got 1 hour before, eat a small snack. 3 hours before, this is your light meal.
It's part of being organised.
It
the
is.
pitch is what I said. It's your backroom stuff and your coaching stuff. You need to have that scheduled in, your pre-game. And for these guys, a pre-game at 6:30 kickoff, your pre-game is the entire day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you're eating right before you go to bed. You're waking up early because, let's be honest, you've not slept. It's a bowl game. You're undefeated.
And that emotional fatigue, it kicks in.
You just want to get it going, and it's 6:30, and you look at your watch, and it's 10:30 in the morning, and you've got 8 hours till kickoff.
My girlfriend's still trying to figure out where I am. I left at about 7 a.m. this morning, and I'm emotionally fatigued. I can't imagine what it's like for these guys. 54 informs us he's okay. He's had a pretty good game so far, so we'll give him that.
Scott Gilliam, middle linebacker for Chester Romans. He's the guy who Hussein's been calling the shots.
He has. He's a communicator. Thank you. He's a juice type of guy as well. He's supporting his team on the sideline. And actually, players like that are invaluable.
So we've got man coverage again, cover one. Got the outside linebackers walked up. Roughnecks are going to gamble again here. They've got to try and get some pressure. You could get a safety and get the ball back.
Like I say, I'm super happy with a punt here.
The quarterback is slow when flushed.
The running back is deep.
Swing to the running back. Can't hold on to it. I mean, that was intelligent play calling because 69 was given the job of covering him and rushing.
I mean, one thing that I think Roughnecks could end up regretting is 44 at nose isn't giving me enough. He's in a 2-point stance. He's too high.
You've got to get low.
We know that the centre, left guard, left tackle on the Romans line are huge and they're playing well. I need more from a nose.
You do. What you need to do is stop that offensive line taking a step forward, and then the running back's playing in his end zone.
This is it, though. I mean, I'm not sure why they've got the full long snapper on. I'd quite fancy just a normal shotgun snapper here because it's a 5-yard snap.
Good snap. And he manages to get it away. Number 20's got a little bit of space.
He's got to really just stop the bounce here.
Well, number 35. Gerard Banks made a great single effort there. He beat his blocker.
And actually, I think that's a success for the Romans.
But it is. That's a full half of football they've got off, let's face it, on their own half-yard line.
I want
and put them into the other half.
In that situation, I want number 20 not to play for the return, but to play to stop the one hop, stop the ball, field position on the 40, get yourself down, don't take that hit, but stop the progress.
Because Roughnecks had contained 35. He had a real shot at a return there, so he's really helped his team out, number 35.
Well, I think from both teams, we can't fault the effort. Like, there's been a huge...
bigger running back, number 35, and he is met straight away.
There's been a huge amount of pursuit. There's been a huge amount of running on special teams. Yes, there's been individual mistakes, but all these players love their club, and all these players are playing the game hard.
And that's the thing, especially on the defense. If you can get guys that just run and don't give up.
And buy in.
And there's no scheme for that. There's no talent for that. That's just pure effort. But getting them to do it, that's a different story.
And there hasn't been a single player in either team that's took a step backwards.
No, and that's what you want to see. Win, lose or draw, then you've played your best.
Yeah.
Motion right off number 6. And we have a reverse.
Oh, it's huge.
Oh, he fumbles it! And he's dragged down from behind by number 25. I think 85.
He's slow to get up as well, unfortunately.
Number 85, who normally plays linebacker, Robert Hayes.
I mean,
took the ball cleanly, but he managed to fumble it after he managed to receive the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the player on the blitz, it looked like 25. He came, he timed his blitz up on the motion. He came in real quick, and I think he got a hand on him and just upset him. If he didn't,
caught it and then dropped it.
I do, but I think 25 got his hand on the other arm. And whilst he had the ball in his left hand, I think 25 slaps his right arm, and it's just enough to put him off. And if that's what happened on film, 25's made a huge play because if 85 turns the corner, it was big.
He was mortaring. Trips to the boundary, swing out to 35. Can't quite get the ball. I mean, that was pressure right at the middle.
And this is a huge penalty on 69.
If that's a late hit.
And already 69's apologising. Yeah. You know, he's quite calm, and he's like, oh, I realise, sorry.
One thing off that, though, we had two players right up the middle, instant pressure. I mean, that to me smacks of some sort of miscommunication with that centre guard group.
Yeah, but to be honest, if 69's out on the sideline, was that some sort of swing screen?
It was a swing screen. Well, I don't know if it was a swing screen. It was definitely a swing pass.
Yeah, I mean, 69 is the left tackle, and he's just got a penalty for hitting someone 5 yards out of bounds. So, like, he's certainly out there.
But even on that swing screen, you're looking to push your left guard and tackle out. You shouldn't get pressure up the middle like that.
No, absolutely. I mean most of these offenses, that are, if they are running the zone inside, what they're doing is they're just running outside zone on that. Like, they're just trying to turn the corner. You can't have immediate edge and middle. You can't have that pressure.
Both up the middle,
yeah. So someone's messed up.
So we have 4th and long.
Punt team's on, but they've been. This is look like we're in.
So I mean, we've managed to lose over 20 yards on that drive. Very slow snap, pressure up the middle, just manages it away, kicks it to the left, and it rolls out of bounds. That was from a very bad situation. It's turned out for a very good field position for the Roughnecks.
And let's recap this half. We've had a huge Roughneck drive of 50 yards, 60 yards, where most of it came from penalties.
Yep.
We've had a huge pressure punt that clears the halfway line.
Yep.
We've had 30 yards of loss of fumbles and penalties. And then we've had an absolute booming punt to put it back on the 30. I mean,
so in a very tight game, what we're saying is at the moment, it's punt tennis.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to come down to
and to be honest, right now, the Romans are a lot happier than they were 2 minutes ago.
Well, they've still got that very slender lead in what has turned out to be, surprisingly, a low-scoring game so far.
69's just giving the quarterback a little wave there. I think he's coming.
Well, he's getting pressure on the edge. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. 69's asking. That should have been a high-low.
Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely, 100%. That's a huge misplay.
Actually had decent leverage.
And the actual amount of contact doesn't matter.
No, it's the intent.
Clear intent, clear contact, huge blown play.
Let's see. 69 asked the referee about that. So we've got that pull-in right play again.
And we've got to.
And once again,
it's getting a little bit messy
here.
Not
influenced the play. I mean,
he's just giving a signal for the linebackers to run. And it's all just a bit chippy. It's all a bit chippy at the minute.
Still in the no huddle.
But again, we've got this trips into the boundary with only 2 walked out. 92's got his chin strap
Singled
undone.
Out, man.
We've got 7 referees, and 92 has got his chin strap undone.
Bubble screen underneath. Gets a good block. Picks up enough for the first down. I mean, the thing is, Jonathan, unless Aberdeen can get on top of this and make it count, then they'll keep chipping away underneath. I mean, should they have thrown that? Perhaps not, but they got enough for a first down.
It's working. I mean, at that final point of the play, the cornerback just has to be a little bit more physical.
I still like this singled-out receiver on the left. You have stretch left.
But look at the speed the linebackers are running at.
Flags everywhere there.
Yeah. I think we're going to have some sort of high-low in the middle. Number 90 was turned up. He had a player over him, a player under him. It looked quite a mess in there.
I mean, more importantly, we had really good flow from the second level. The linebackers, the Roughnecks, were there in numbers. Yeah. They just strung the play around.
They've been telling them all day, look, flow, because unfortunately, the Caesars haven't got up behind the guards, haven't got up behind the centre. They need to get more vertical because the Roughnecks linebackers are now free to run. So they've got a chop block, it looks, and they're going to decline it. It's either holding or a chop block. Holding. And they've declined it because it's second and 9.
Second and long.
Sorry, second and 19.
Yeah. That's the first time we've seen that stretch left play.
Yeah, and it actually looked quite nice. It was almost more like a sweep. The running back was so flat.
I think he was flat because as he took the hand off, there was people right in his face.
Potentially,
They're not
yeah.
accounting for that outside linebacker.
Well, if you're a spread team and you're allowed to play one high against them, there's an extra guy in the box you can't deal with.
Rolls flushed out right, throws the ball again. Number 81 can't quite hold on to it. A late flag on number 82 for the Roughnecks. Graham Reith. Probably going to be called for a late hit or on a sportsmanlike on number 81.
And we're
Rory Mansfield.
Unfortunately, we preempted it earlier in the second quarter.
Well, if this is a personal foul,
And
they've
the
got
minute-
back to first down again.
Yeah, at the minute we have got a mess, and this needs to stop. So after that tough personal foul, we got first and 10. Second and 19 to first and 10. Needless.
Well, it was. It didn't influence the play. Number 25 in at running back. It's another one of these guys in a championship game. Saying get your best athletes on the field playing both ways.
Yeah, he had a
number 25 Tom Petto playing outside linebacker.
He had a huge impact on the big fumble last drive, and now he's pounding the rock. I mean, he looks kind of small, but a 5-yard gain right up the middle is great running.
In this field position as well. Number 44 on a 2-point stance for the defense. Swings out right to number 25. Breaks one tackle, round a second. Picks up a block downfield. Keeps going for the first down. A good hit at the end there by number 20.
Yeah.
That was nice poise. He managed to follow a block there. If he didn't manage to stay on his feet, he could have gone in towards the end zone.
Yeah, he finished that incredibly well.
And now the Romans are knocking on the door here. The Roughnecks.
Unfortunately, the Roughneck had really bad pursuit angles on the initial swing, and you can't let that guy get outside you.
So we've got a 50 front now from the Roughnecks. Hand up the middle. Who's there to meet him? Number 56 gets a piece. Number 82. 56, Matthew McCall. Read the play really well, managed to get an arm on him. Slow him down enough for number 82.
The inside-out pursuit from the Roughnecks is excellent. If they can set a hard edge, they're having success.
Well, the thing he did there, Jonathan, was he kept his head up the whole play.
Yeah.
He went into contact, but he kept his head up, and he kept one arm free. He kept his outside arm free, which meant he could do just enough to slow him down for help to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 69 in the backfield, and number 82. That is great pursuit.
Yeah, and you know, when you run the sprint out game, at least 10, 20, 30% of the time you're thinking, I hope the QB takes off on this. But this isn't an option for 10. So you've got to be super confident to roll the wrong way against his arm, knowing that he doesn't really have the option to run it.
He's not the fastest of QBs. He's got good vision.
And with feel with the outside linebacker, full line inside the hash is one of those places you're like, well, it's going to be brave for them to throw it there.
Because if your middle linebacker's petrified that he's not going to let a run.
But like catch and tackle, and it's turnover.
Yep.
So you've got to be brave to throw it end zone. That's true. That's
drops back, flushed out right. Goes deep. It's difficult to see if he was aiming for number 18, who was on a crossing pattern, or number 85, who broke his pattern short.
Yeah, I mean, it's that one of those in-between balls. But the big difference with the QBs at the minute is when 16 gets outside the pocket.
He's got that extra time due to his speed.
There is a little bit more of a run threat. He's not setting the game alight with his feet, but he will turn things positive.
But also he's managing to extend the play that bit longer because he's that much
absolutely.
quicker.
And he's a brave boy. He just took a huge hit there,
well,
but he made sure he threw downfield.
Hits. I mean, we had the designed QB run previously. He put his shoulder down and went for it. Good snap. Straight down the field. Number 86 feels it cleanly. Beats one tackle. Runs to the right.
That's
finally
good
brought
pursuit.
Down by 84.
And we've got a hit there that is.
That was legal. I got on number 25 legal.
Picture perfect. I mean, I think
shoulder on the shoulder.
Half a step later, and it's late.
Or if he tried to
half
come in
a
with
step
his
in the
hands.
back, yeah. But actually, I think he times it up just about perfect.
He worked that perfectly. He made sure that it was side shoulder on side shoulder. And we've seen a couple of comments this season about people complaining about hits, which I've seen on YouTube about what I believe are legal hits, especially in the defensive secondary. You know, people forget that as a secondary player, you don't always have to play the ball. You can go at the man and stop the catch by delivering that blow.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a coach, you love to see plays like that because you guys are playing with intensity.
It makes those receivers think
I think the biggest thing about those type of plays is the online debate is clouded by people saying what they want it to be.
Yep.
Now, the rules changed last season, and they are very specific, and there are some triggers for targeting that you might not even think are penalties. Whether you want them to be or not, some of them now are. And it's you see this thing, clean or dirty, everyone goes clean, 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 because that's what they want it to be. But if you read the rule book, you're like, oh, I'm not so sure. Yeah. Now, we've seen some this year that have been big hits and have been clean. We've seen some big hits that have been dirty. At the Vikings, we had 2 players ejected for targeting at various points. One was rescinded. One we didn't appeal because it wasn't a vital situation. But we've also seen players deliver huge blows that have been completely clean, and we've taken a few as well.
It's offensive false start there, I believe, which has pushed the Romans back from a promising 2nd and short to 2nd and 9. Still one high for the Roughnecks. Blitz up the middle. Blocked effectively. He's got time. He goes downtown. Number 7 pushes off.
No.
Referees are happy that was decent coverage.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's
but the free safety was late.
You're allowed physical contact down there, and it's you know, as much as 7 leaned in, you called it before everyone shouted for the penalty. 7's leaned in. He leaned in. The DB leaned in. It's much of a nothingness.
Interestingly, it was a very flat trajectory for that ball.
Well,
there
the ball, I don't think the QB will be happy with the release.
Yeah, I mean,
the ball was wobbling a little bit, and I think it was a lot of just arm strength got it there rather than technique.
Drops back, pressure, steps up, jumps off short. That's a nice play to number 17.
That is a great stick in the open field as well.
I think he's done enough to stop him short. So here we are, near the half-time, a slender 3-point lead.
Yeah, and the punt team's on.
Well, they're just going to protect that league. Hopefully their defence can protect it.
I mean, in terms of open field tackles from 82 there, that is
well, the guy was moving when he hit as well.
Money.
He managed to arrest his momentum.
And after just discussing illegal, dirty, clean, etc., blah, 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 you've just seen a textbook form tackle stop a guy absolutely dead in the open field.
Well, we said earlier, you know, if you can get your defensive players to make tackles 100% of the time, you can build a championship.
And I tell you what, we've been critical of number 10, and actually on that play, he moved his feet, he stepped up, he evaded the rush, and he threw a strike.
He threw on the run as
that's
well.
That's what his team needs more of.
I think with a big guy like that, you don't need him to move into space. You just need to buy that extra 3 or 4 yards, stepping up, stepping to the sides. Just the short footwork. Because with his height, he's got such great vision. Single returner back for the Roughnecks. Number 6, Lewis Hughes. Bobbling ball. Feels it cleanly.
we need to get a memo out that this thing called fair catch exists because people are getting hammered.
We're seeing a lot of brave catches, but you don't need to. I mean, was he inside the 20 there?
I mean, at that point, if you are confident you're going to catch the ball, you are getting hit.
So, penalties again. Scrappy play from the offense of Romans. Here we are, fourth quarter.
Number 54, giving his leadership skills, jigging his boys up. You can hear the noise raised. He asked for it. These guys have given it.
Now, are they going to start running the ball again? Because that's been successful at the start of this second half. Fumble snap, looks left. Goes down the sideline to number 8.
And it's a huge strike. And here we go. Almost the exact same field situation. Last time they took a timeout. Let's go, Roughnecks. Let's actually push the pace here.
Number 6, Lewis Hughes, not number 8, my apologies. And here's that deep threat they talked about pre-game. Straight up to the line.
And this is much better. The chains are
Slot
barely...
Number 18 on the right-hand side, or are they going to run out the middle? Hands it up the middle. Oh, number 54 delivers another big hit as he was wrapped. Makes 1 or 2.
But again, I'm okay with it. It's 1 or 2. It's not a negative, and you've started
number
the momentum
18
again.
Singled out on 43 with very little help over the top here. Do we think they'll have a go?
43 shown a great range of athleticism, though. He's been under the deep ball a few times. I think he got caught once early in the first half, but since then he's had it pretty much locked down.
Samson McLean, number 43, has had a good game so far. Number 18, he's been asked a lot. Looks like cover 1 at the moment. Drops back, looks left again. Goes for his favourite threat, number 6, who makes another great grab.
It is, it's been signalled a catch.
Again. Oh, he comes down with the ball.
Unbelievable. It has, it's been given. It's a catch. We've got a first and goal.
Do we call that a fade or a go?
I mean, against cover 1, it doesn't really matter too much. If you're faster than the guy covering you, it's on.
Middle, and he's met once again. That offensive line didn't get any sort of movement.
And they got no pad level either. They were very, very high. And actually, I think they're starting to tire a little bit. They've had to jog a lot to get down the field.
Yeah.
But you've got to get your pad level right near the goal line.
Number 90 down for a second. Michael French jogs off.
Doesn't look too badly injured. So it looks like a few of the linebackers have come off. They've put a little bit of beef up in the middle.
I think we're going to cover 0, man coverage. We're going to try and get some pressure up the middle, shut down that inside zone. Got a bunch on the right.
I like QB sweep right here.
Yeah, number 85s. On the
so it looked like with that little wing formation, they had some sort of edge, you know, going on.
Number 83 is a big unit.
85, I think it is.
85, Robert Hayes. If he plays linebacker for defense, playing both ways. I mean, he's a big unit. He's a big target in the end zone.
If he can seal that edge, and it looks like he can.
And we know the QB's happy to run the ball.
We know if the running back can cut 18, this is huge here to the right.
Drops back for the pass, 18 on the slant.
Ooh, and he's big, but not quite big enough.
I mean, I liked 18 on the slant there. Had great inside leverage, had a good 2-3 yard cushion. He looked for 85 on the out. It was there, but he couldn't quite deliver it.
As you say, though, you called it pre-snap, and you're in there and saying he's a big target. So they were fully aware of that. And a perfect pass would have got it, but it hasn't.
But number 43 has been put on an island. They've gone cover 0. Well, how are you going to defend the slant and defend the corner?
Last time it was an goal.
Oh,
they went
for
it.
Field goal for tied 6 apiece.
They have. I might have to send my girlfriend a message saying, you know, I said 10:30. It might be midnight.
It's a short field goal, but it's on the left hash. Good rush up the middle. Good hold.
Field goal is good. We've got a tie game in the 4th.
6 apiece. 4th quarter. Chester Romans 6. Touchdown with no conversion. Aberdeen Roughnecks 6, 2 field goals.
We've got a flag. We've got a flag. we have had a signal that the field goal was good. But if this is something that gives a first down...
Another bite at the cherry, or perhaps the other way.
This is huge.
We're running out of time in this game. We're in fourth quarter now.
I wonder if we get billed twice if we're still playing on Sunday.
Flag is waved. Kick is good. 6 apiece.
Tie game. Here we go.
So after an 8-game regular season, 2 playoff games, 3.5 quarters of football, we might as well have not been here. It's a tied ball game going into the
We've
fourth.
just changed the playoff rule in books to a coin flip. So, you know, we might end up with that.
Importantly, Chester get the ball back. Now, they've really stumbled this second half. We've seen very little in the way of production from them. But air raid, deep threat quarterback, 1 or 2 quick hitters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at number 7 to make a play. I'm looking at number 8 to make a play. They've number 17. They got ballers out there. They got kids who can play, man.
86, James Sharrock, and 43, Samson McLean back to return, very deep.
We've seen big plays out of both of them so far.
First time I've seen Aberdeen kick off in this direction.
The wind's picked up a little bit, but nothing significant. That's a great boot again. And here's the cornerback.
43 follows 86.
He's run in front
Straight
of his
up the
blocker.
middle.
Oh, my! So 6'4" there. That's a strange number for an athlete like that to be wearing, but 64 has just open field tackle, full speed.
I don't have him on the team sheet because that was a great open field tackle. He made him head on, he hit him hard, he wrapped up, and even at the end there, when he was coming around, he was round his ankles.
Yeah, and you know, 43 has had a great game, showing his athleticism at cornerback. He hit that with intent.
Yep.
And you know, 64, Aberdeen Roughnecks,
stopped him.
Just stone
Here we go,
cold.
trips left. How long's left, sir? 10 minutes and 49 seconds left in this Division 2 Northern Bowl game final. Blitz coming. Hands up the middle. Who's there again? Number 69. Andrew Watts playing both ways. Still gets in on the tackle for no gain.
Yeah, and that's a lot of energy expended for not much gain there.
You get the impression this head coach, Levi Edwards, is very patient though. He's still going to take what's given. He's not going to force anything.
This is going to be air raid to the end. It's going to be screens to the end. It's going to be vertical routes to the end. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. What better than what you've practiced all year? There's nothing better than what you've practiced all year.
Pressure again from 69. And I think that was caused by number 69 managed to blow up 2 blocks, which put number 90 in the perfect position.
Well,
to get the sack.
what we said earlier about the Roughnecks defense was we know 69's level of play. Who's going to join him?
Well, Che Moore there on the sack. But he's playing both ways now. We're saying, is he going to drop off? He's not dropped off at the moment. He's still a force on this defense.
Incredible fitness so far. And actually, if the other players match him, it's going to be tough.
I think Che Muller's picked up more sacks than he has, purely off the back of his
Oh,
pressure.
yeah, absolutely.
Drops back again. Pressure again. Gets a hand on him, number 69. That's probably offensive holding, but once again, Andrew Watts
he stayed down.
The sack leader for this Roughnecks defense. He's causing all sorts of bother. They've got him double teamed with the right tackle on the back.
This is holding. This is declined, and we are on 4th and 20.
I mean, what do you do now? You've got him double teamed every play, and he's still blowing you up off a 3-man front.
Well, I mean, he's taking an extreme pass rush, so maybe we try and trap him. Maybe we try and run at him. If he wants to widen out of his stance, let's punish him for that.
We've seen him running with that dart player with the left tackle, number 73, pulling, and that's really not being productive.
He's just not getting around. I think it needs to be more bang, bang. I think if this guy, 69, is going to hard rush the edge, if your tackle kicks out, you can just run inside zone. If you cut his inside leg, I think you can run inside zone. But you know me and inside zone, so.
Yeah, I love the inside zone. Good snap. Gets a hold of it. Nice
it's
high,
short
good
though.
coverage
It's hung,
as well. It's great coverage.
Oh, it's a great bounce.
Great bounce. Number 35, once again, he's a main gunner on this punt team. He's chased it down all day long, and he bought them an extra 15, 20 yards.
And again, reiterate this. Nobody's
Gerard
taken
Banks.
a step back.
No.
Everyone's been positive. Everyone's been productive. Everyone has shown heart and hustle. And actually, everyone who's put a jersey on for both of these teams is an absolute credit to their organisation.
I mean, Gerard Banks on their previous punt, when they were backed up on their own half-yard line, chased it down and put them into the other half. That time there, they've gone from deep inside their own half to push them right back on a sort of 32-yard line. That's great coverage.
And at 6-6, it really feels that whoever makes the fewest mistakes
man,
is going to win this game.
This could be an interception, taken back, or a fumble. A defense could win this, Inside zone handoff, number 25. Gets the hard yards up the middle. I mean, this could be a game where somebody makes a mistake and there's a pick taken back to the house. You never know.
Yeah. So I'm looking on the Aberdeen sideline, and I can't see. Oh no, I've just spotted him now, because has 64 been playing left guard all game, and I've just missed him in between all those giants, because he's the player who made that special team tackle.
Yeah.
If he's genuinely a left guard making that sort of open field tackle,
he seems a lot smaller than the rest of the O-line. Swing screen left, or swing
and
left.
look at him ghost
He's
vertical.
in the open field, one guy to beat. Oh, that's a lovely finish as well. He put his head down straight into number 27. That is a great 25, 30-yard pickup first down.
And it was the catch, and it was the immediate vertical
Straight
move.
upfield, Diego Esca managed to pick up some blocks in the open field and then finished off into two tacklers. Cover one. Good pressure, he slings it deep. Number 6. Oh, and that was underthrown there. We had great coverage, but number 18, the safety, managed to get over.
It was underthrown a little, but I think one of the biggest changes is the Romans had it on lock. They had two deep.
Yeah,
they had
was in perfect
all
position.
over it.
Well, we've seen him hit twice down that sideline.
They might be giving chop block here, and if they are, oh no, they've given holding. I was going to say, because there was a chop block that was very similar to the one that we wanted called earlier that wasn't called, but it looks like it's just straight up holding.
Well, once again, penalties, flags are going to cost the offense. They're going to get put back. Holding by the offense. Now, here's the thing. You've had success with number 6 down the sideline. At what point do you say the Romans have adjusted their defensive scheme and it's not a good idea to throw that?
Unfortunately, we don't know how deep the playbooks are. We've not seen a big inside move like a post route. We've not seen a corner route yet. We've not seen an inside receiver in the outside cylinder, and we've not seen an outside receiver deep over the middle. Is that something that might be the thing that changes the game?
Could be. 2nd and 10. QB's going to throw this one. That shows what I know. Hands up the middle, and he's met instantly. I mean, I'm not sure if that was a draw, because the QB was looking intently there at both his receivers' coverage and only give the ball after he'd looked.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these offenses are packaging bubble draw together and just saying, I'm throwing bubble unless I've got numbers, then I'm giving draw. And if that's the case, he's made a poor decision. However, we are speculating on that.
Yeah, I mean, he was met with a wall there.
But also, one of the most important things about playing the spread offense is convincing the defense to play cover 2 or cover 4. If there's one high, those sort of bubble draw plays don't work because they've got the box and man-to-man.
So we're currently outside of field goal range, 3rd and long. Is that fake jet left, hands it to 25. He's tackled from the backside, I believe outside linebacker 54 again.
Yeah,
He's been
53 and
today.
54 were both in on it.
Scott Gilliam, middle linebacker. Number 53, Daniel Cotton.
Yeah, it's been an intense game of defense that's had a real standout on both sides. I really like the play of 54 from middle backer. I really like the play for 69 from the edge.
Andrew Watts.
And, the outcome of this game is going to be huge.
Well, here we go. So, a field goal attempt.
It's 44, 45, 46 yards.
No wind. Very, very noisy here. High snap, good hold.
He's got it.
Got the legs. It's wide, I believe.
No, he's just
Wide
pushed left.
He
had the legs, yeah. He caught it right, it looked. It looked like he caught it right, and it's just faded on him.
So that pops up reasonable field position for this Romans offense, who quite frankly failed to impress in the second half.
I've started to notice as well that now at the change of possession, there's only 7 or 8 Roughnecks leaving the field. There's quite a few people now doing double duty.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season. Even if you've got an 8-game regular season, these playoff games come on the bounce every weekend.
But there's nothing left in it. If you've got anything left in the tank now, you give it.
Backside blitz from 23. So Roughnecks still gambling. They backside blitzed. They had 2 covering the trips and they blitzed one of them. Could that be the point? You know, they could come back and haunt them. We have some sort of deep in.
Well, the corners are on islands. Like, number 7's been the best receiver, and this corner is man on man, and that's for me my matchup.
It's got no help over the top. The safety's well on the other side of the pitch. Hands it again, number 25, met in the backfield by 92s. Evades a tackle. Legal block. Can he pick up some blocks downfield? He does. It's still going.
And that is a huge game from a missed tackle.
A missed tackle and 2 great downfield blocks by both these receivers well after the play should have been ended. He rode those blocks, another missed tackle on the sideline, and that's been their most explosive play this second half. That's put them in great field position. They're now waiting on the chains to be reset. They're ready to go. Got man coverage, cover 1. See if they go backside. Now throw that bubble screen again. Missed tackle, we have a flag. Now
It's an interesting place to have a flag, that.
Could be holding on one of those receivers.
It could be that he caught the ball downfield and there was an illegal block thrown. Like, I don't see the ball extending past the neutral zone, but I'm not sure.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 8. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
That is a big penalty there, 10 yards.
Yeah, and I'm also wondering how you block someone in the back at that situation.
Well, after the guy caught it, he did change direction quite a lot, which means
yeah,
the
but if there's
pursuer
a
moved
continuation of the block, if the defender chooses to show you his back,
or did they separate? That's the question.
Yeah, there's a whole grey area there.
Got to put that behind us. 1st and 20. 69's quite high now. He's obviously starting to get tired. Double teamed. Got great movement. Oh, 56 made a great play from behind because the defensive end, number 69, was blown off the ball by the right guard and
interesting. We
tackle.
talked about it earlier. If he's going to get off on a wide release pass rush, he's going to be easy to run block. The guys got together, but the big difference is they had 4-7 in the backfield. 25's just made a huge play. Is he gassed? Did he get up slow? If 25's in the ball game at that point, does that one go?
56 Matthew McCall on a crucial tackle. Drops back. Looking over for the post. Oh, yeah, double post over the middle. The free safety was nowhere to be seen. He put the ball on the money in the end zone, and he just couldn't quite hold on to it.
Yeah, we see the receiver leaning back, hoping that the ball drops into a bucket. At that point, I think he's got to take off, launch himself into the air, put his hands to the football and secure it with a high point.
He could have done a lot better there. I mean, the QB did a good job, made a good, good protection. First time we've said that the second half. He had a good time in the pocket.
He had a great pocket.
He went through his reads. I was expecting him to throw the post on the left. He threw the post on the right. We had fades on either side.
And actually, the posts kind of ran into each other.
Flushed out the pocket. 74 does enough to drag him down.
Have a flag.
It's probably offensive holding. Number 90 once again got in on the tail end of that. Che Muller. Number 74, Alistair Howe, managed to get a single hand on the quarterback, did enough to grab hold of him. And this is what you need. You've got one of your better players who's starting to slow down a bit. He's playing both ways. Can the rest of the D-line can step up?
We've seen 90 in the game. We've seen 74 working hard now.
Now, are they going to decline this if it's offensive holding and force the down? They made a loss.
I know. Yeah, I guess you forced it down, though.
Fourth down.
I mean,
it's outside of field goal range.
Mainly because you don't want to do 74 dirty and give him the sack. You know, he's going to be like,
straight away we've got
Coach,
we've
give
got
me
a
the
special
sack.
team on. Is it a field goal or is it a punt?
It must be a punt. we are looking at a 39 plus 17. We're looking at a 56-yarder here, so we've got the punt team out. A tight
Now,
punt.
We
They
don't
don't
really
want
have
this
anybody
block.
back to return. Number 20 is way too close up. Aims for the corner.
He gets a great bounce, and he's out of around the 10.
Well, that is well executed because he clearly was aiming for the corner. He kept the ball very low, and there was no question that ball was going to bounce out of bounds. Maybe 2 or 3 yards either way, but that was
One
great.
of the things that I always enjoy is a punter executes it, and he is giving it bigs to the sideline. He's coming off going, this is us, this is what we want.
Well, I mean, a close
love
game like
it.
this,
It's
you punt,
passion.
we've talked about the punt game. We've got
I
punt
do my
technique.
job, you do your job, let's go win a ball game.
Well, that puts them back on their own 9-yard line, and so far Aberdeen have not managed to get into the end zone. We've had a field goal, but nothing else off them.
Although the last drive, the first cracks in the Romans' defense started to show. We had a few big gains.
Yeah. Number 25 being the key player. Number 6 down the sideline, a couple of great grabs this second half. Flushed out the pocket, he's grabbed, managed to break the tackle. Finally, number 52. And number 54 there, drag him down.
That's great
52,
pursuit.
Craig Rice.
One thing we did see there, though, is we did see that post route for the first time. 18 run a huge post, but actually, the Romans look like they're back in the base. They look like they're back at 2 high safeties.
Cover 2 again.
Exactly the time you don't want to run that post.
Yeah. Unless you're going to try to turn it into some sort of quick slant and hit them there. But, I mean, their edge defenders, 96 is pretty wide. 25 is pretty wide. So I wonder if they're bumping then going to a zone underneath. So you only really got a 5-man box here. Gives it 25 up the middle. Just getting no push off that Roughnecks offensive
Yeah, I mean,
line.
the box at this situation is really hard to count. The outside linebackers are inside the slots, and they're committing to the run pretty hard. They are aligned wide.
The thing you have there, though, is I don't understand. The Roughnecks have got their slots narrow, which makes that outside backer's job easier. Just widen them by 3 or 4.
Well,
put him
by
2
10.
yards. Well, yeah.
By
just
20,
enough.
ask them a question.
And say, are you a pass defender or a run defender? Because at the moment they're letting them do both.
Absolutely, and that's the defensive coordinator's dream. They want their hybrid players to do 2 things. We always say as coaches, make the tackle guys cover and make the cover guys
Goes
tackle.
back. He's sacked. The question is where?
He's about the 4.
That's on about the 2. Now, this comes into play because we only have a 7-yard end zone. If he's sacked on the 2, that only gives him 9 yards. And that punter's got to give himself a good half yard so he doesn't accidentally step out the end zone on the snap, which turns it into an 8.5-yard snap for a punt in your end zone. I'm sending everybody. That could be the safety that gets you the ball back. That could win you the game.
Yep.
That sack there could be pivotal. I mean, what are you doing here, Jonathan? Are you sending everybody, leave one back?
Oh, my default is send everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
I've said for a long time, I've never lost a game where we've blocked a punt. It's all, blocking a punt is a huge momentum shift.
So you have to just do the basics right here. Single-handed snap. It's reasonable. It gets it
It's
away.
away.
It's good.
That's a great
Number
punt.
25's in hot pursuit. Can he make the tackle? And he does enough to slow him down. Get his teammates there. 63. Now 25 didn't make the tackle, but we saw him put in a
Turned him
great
back inside.
effort.
He turned him back
Turned
inside.
him back. He tried to get outside. He's a speedy guy, and that's unselfish play there because even though he knew he wasn't going to get the tackle, he did enough
And
to get his teammates.
The other
in
thing
the
is,
play.
he's going to be on that guy's highlight tape, which is the worst thing. He's giving him the move. He's face planted in the national final, but actually, he's done a hell of a job for
And
his
he had
team.
to go for a real high-quality block there. He actually blew that block up. The
Absolutely.
guy committed fully. He just lowered the shoulder and ran through it. But after all of that, we've got great field possession for the Romans, 6 apiece.
2-minute warning at 1:49 with 2 timeouts remaining.
Game 11 in the season, tied at 6 apiece.
There's no right guard at the minute. Here we go.
Got cover 2. Hands off to 25, bides his time. Can he get outside?
Hey, but
Well, he gets enough for 4.
I tell you what's changed already on this drive. They ran at him at 69 last drive. They doubled him. On that play, there was no pass rush. He played run. It helped his team out. But if you're going to stop 69's pass rush, that's got to be worth it.
Yep. I mean, the thing is as well, he's taken enough of their blocking scheme to free up other guys who aren't as good a player at him. He's a real top quality team player. 69 once again double teamed, splits the block.
That's and they've given it as holding on him.
Yeah, there you go. So once again, 69, we believe he was held because he did a real good job of splitting that double team. He was real hard to the point of contact.
Oh, the perfect technique as well. He took on one player. He put something in the gap. Now, there shouldn't be holding on a double team. There's only one situation when you take them to the ground. And actually, they took him to the ground. They ended up rugby tackling him. 69
and
is...
That's foolish because that back should know to give enough of a buffer to a player like that.
Yeah, well, also, if 69 is rushing the edge and he's winning
to the outside...
defender
there. They've actually narrowed them.
He was. But if he's been doing it all day, then I wouldn't be trying to really bounce on him. I'd be getting up that A-gap. I'd be narrowing my inside run to A-gap to A-gap. And we've seen 44 have a high stance, and I'd be going right at him and just doubling up.
2-point stance at times.
Yeah, and I'd
third and long. So great field possession's gone back. 3rd and 11. Got singled out number 7. Doesn't look to have too much help over the top.
We've seen a trip sponge for the first time, but what it really does is open up 7 vertical.
Got motion left off 82. Gives the jet sweep, cuts inside. 92 on the tackle.
He's got it back. He's got it back. He's got it back.
Number 92, Daryl Byrne, making a really good save and tackle there. That was excellent read.
Calling it short. We've got 4th and a foot timeout around about a minute in the game.
Well, that's a key tackle by number 92.
That's their second timeout of the half.
Yeah, and what you could see from the defensive structure, there wasn't a clear force player. So when the jet came, the defense had to move someone, create momentum. The runner sees it early,
he did
goes
well.
vertical.
He cut early.
And we've just got a 10-yard gain there on 3rd and 11, and we are, this is
So here we go, we're
tight.
4th and 1, Jonathan. What are you calling? Are you going to try go for the win, put it in, single out number 7? Hit
You know me, I'm passing it to an O-lineman or something like that. We've just been updated. There's 45 seconds
45
in the game.
seconds. So do you go for the first down?
Oh.
Or do you try and finish it here? Because we know number 7, he's got decent hands. In fact, he's got great hands. He's singled out a skinny post, a fade, or maybe even sort of a fat corner where he comes back. That could win it. Or are you going to go for that first down? What are you calling? What's your play call?
It's tough when you don't know the guys. I'm in a big believer.
I'm saying, what are you going to call?
Well, if I knew the guys, I'd know what to call. Because, you know, I think they're going to pass. I think there's going to be some sort of dab play action. I think they're going to try and hold the backers. The slots look active. QB's scanning. False.
False start. No. Number 73.
And it's huge again and again. This is just it's a
well, what that does,
slugfest
Jonathan, is that changes the play call.
Right for the snap. Full offense number 73. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
We've got a bit more time to explain my thinking. What I mean is, you've got a feeling on teams. You know who guys are playing well. You know who's got energy in the tank. If you need a yard, you want to run behind the player that's been winning his individual battles. I don't know these guys well enough.
Trips bunch left first time we've seen this to the field
In my
side.
team, I'm probably throwing some play action.
We've got 3v2 here. Look for this bubble. We've had good blocking downfield from this core of receivers today from Chester. He looks left. Throws it on the slant over the middle. 82 hits his hands. It's high and back, but we have another flag in the backfield. Is that number 71 and Holden?
I think it's holding. I think it's declined. It's holding, it's declined. We're going to have first down, Roughnecks ball.
Offense number 25. That penalty is declined. First down, Aberdeen.
Turnover on downs. Aberdeen have just enough here, but we've not seen a lot other than that deep ball down the left sideline to number 6. We've not seen much else go deep today.
Can you just did they have a bye week for this game?
I'm not sure. I think
Did
everybody
they
just
have
plays.
a bye week for this game?
We're consulting our BAFA representative, Gary Lee.
So when you've got 2 weeks of practice, you might have a little bit of time to get jiggy with it. You might have a little bit of time to have something cooked up if you need one play.
Well, for speaking to these guys before the match, though, these coaches are both decent coaches. They kept mentioning, get back to the basics. Do what you do well. Don't do anything fancy. Execute and win the game. So
with under 40 seconds remaining, I'm getting
once
jiggy
again,
with it.
I know. Once that slot's very close again. Number 85 drops back, looks left, flushed out to the right. He's got number 18 coming back on the sideline.
Yes,
Lovely catch.
It's a great
Got both
catch.
feet in there, even though he only needed one. That is beautiful. You can tell these guys have played together a long time because 18 saw exactly what happened. He broke his pattern. He was waving his hands, running at him.
Early in the game, I mentioned that the roughneck receivers didn't get into the scramble drill, but when
executed perfectly,
they
there.
have.
And the QB went for the sideline as well, so you can't pick that. Kills the clock. 32 seconds.
on the snap.
Oh, big pressure up the middle. Number 35 didn't have a chance there. Number 54 was straight in the backfield, and once again he's making things happening on defense.
So we're going to be looking at about 25 seconds.
I think Chester sent 3 of their linebackers there. It was just, they went for it big time.
Well, number 35 being in the backfield has been a bit of a marker for the run game. He got released onto one swing pass route and didn't really look comfortable under it. Certainly not as comfortable as number 25 did earlier. So I think it's a bit of a key for these backers that they can get involved with it.
Drops back. Looks right over the middle to 18. Good grab. He's met. We're going to see a timeout. That's enough for a first down.
It's an interesting one. They could set up before the box is set here.
Well, they get 10 seconds.
But at this 20 seconds, it's a bit too risky to rely on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 pass plays, 2 completions, 2 first downs.
We mentioned it earlier. We've not seen many in-breaking routes.
No, and
here we
the
see
post.
a post. And it's that soft zone we were talking about near the end zone before. If you throw the ball into the middle of the field, the clock is going to be running.
Well, number 18 has been quite quiet in the game. I mean, pre-game we were told to watch him.
Safety's disappeared to the far side of the field. 18's got a vertical track.
Hands the ball. And the Roughnecks line, the communication on the blocking there was not right because we saw the blitz was telegraphed well before the snap. We ran the same play, which clearly wasn't going to work. I mean, you've got to slow yourselves down and know that they've taken some chances on this drive. That's when you can pop the ball. Quick slant over the middle. There are no linebackers there. You know, that can go for a long distance.
And there's another consideration as well. The last thing you want to do.
Just some confusion over the flag here. Oh, here we go. A long-range field goal. False start, number 50, prior to the snap. What down is this?
If I'm the Romans, I shouldn't say this too loud, but I'm putting the returner back. What have you got to lose?
So we're not in 4th down. What we've done effectively is we've run out of time. This is going to be the last play of the game here.
They missed an opportunity to send a returner back. Huge opportunity to change the game here.
So, I mean, this is well outside of his kicking zone. So
I think so, but...
Oh, it is. It's 10 yards too far.
Where's your kick returner?
I mean, the first thing he needs a longer run-up. And it's blocked. Now,
I'm not seeing the signal. I think there's time on the clock.
not sure if they made the decision to kick the field goal before they realised they were getting pushed back so far on that penalty.
Yeah, and oh no, time has expired.
So we'll now have a little chat with our BAFA representative, Gary Lee. Here we are, we're 6 apiece after 4 quarters.
Do we get charged double if it's after midnight?
Do we know what the can you tell us what the protocol is here for overtime?
Well, it's my understanding that the teams will get extra period time, but it depends. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
I think none of us are sure at the moment. I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, Gary. I mean, we play NCAA rules where you start at the 20-yard line and get a chance to go in.
25, I believe.
25. Is that what we're going to see here?
Probably, yeah.
Well, it's been a low-scoring game, but it hasn't been a game that's been boring by any stretch. I mean, there's been a lot of plays. There's been a lot of penalties. Let's just say that. There's been a lot of penalties.
Really hoping for the field end here for our commentary spot. If it's 25 going into the trees, it's going to be a hard thing to call. If it's right down here, I am pumped. What is better than overtime in a final?
Well, I guess, Jonathan, none of these guys want to stop playing because this is the last game of the season. So they're saying, I mean, I've played in games, not finals, but I've played in games that have been backwards and forwards, and it turned into basically next goal wins.
Yeah.
Just keep playing. Sometimes you go back to being a kid. It's dark. It's
Jumpers
time to go home.
Posts.
You've been called in for dinner, and you said, "I'll just have one more go."
Field goals.
59-yard field goals. I mean, one thing I will say about that field goal is he didn't adjust his run-up.
No.
And they didn't adjust where they were spotting the ball. It was the same about 7 yards. Now, you've got to give that kicker a longer run-up if he's going to have a stab at something that long.
It's got to be a kickoff.
Yeah. You know, and you just got to hope that your line can do enough to give you the chance to get it off. But they didn't. So, you know, me personally, I wouldn't have done that. I'm not sure. I think they made the decision before they realised how far back they were going on the penalty. Yeah. You've got to just put that in the end zone. You
either put it in the end zone or you just take overtime. And you just
I'd put it in the end zone.
Because you put it in the end zone, you get a pick six, you look real weird.
You're not going to get a pick six from
They nearly got the field goal blocked and returned. Like, that a different bounce on that ball and you're losing the game. I definitely don't take the field goal.
So here we go. I think we're going to get clarification from Gary Lee, our BAFA representative for the evening.
Yeah, we are doing NCAA rules, so it will be from the 25 in until we get a result, really.
Well...
Defense.
It has been a very defensive game.
It has been a defensive game. It's been anything but boring, though. It's been interesting to watch.
On the 25-yard line, we're at the stage where you need, like, any mistake probably costs you your drive. We've had a mistake-filled game, and if people can put a lid on it, keep
Likewise,
it together.
Flip the coin, go on the other side. Any mistake on defense, and you've just let in a score.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's face it, offenses who have struggled today. If you make a mistake on defense and let in that score, you're asking a lot from your own offense to go out.
One thing the Rough Riders, I keep calling them the Rough Riders. That was Caledonian about 10 years ago. But one thing the Roughnecks have up the sleeve is if they stop them first, they just take a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, they can kick the ball.
They can kick the ball 42, no problem. They don't need any gain on this.
So both teams looking pretty calm on the sideline.
Well, we can come on the pitch.
I can't actually get that far.
We can come to here. This will be fine. So we are down at the tree end, which means our position gives us the wide angle view. We're going to try and creep down as the Chester team creeps down a little bit, but we're about at the limit here. We've got a wide angle here. We can see the far receiver.
So Aberdeen going to get the ball first, or are they lining up on defense?
No, they're lining up on defense.
So Chester first. I mean, for me, I'm calling this, when I've gone trips and put number 7 on his own on the left, he's been man coverage.
Yeah.
with a free safety over on the trip side.
I mean,
and for me as well, I'm getting 3 bites of this cherry.
Yeah,
I'm saying I think he can catch the ball, he can make things happen. I'm going to give him 3
here's
goals.
a quick, can you get the protection for something like a
Oh, yeah.
stop and go?
Hands the ball off to 25, who bounces it round. Flag in the backfield, probably a holding call. 56 was there.
Extremely well done by 69. He gives the referee the eyes, the hands, and he makes that hold as clear as day.
Now, both these teams are tired.
Yeah.
But you can see now we've still got hustle to the ball on the defence for the Roughnecks here because, well, this is it.
Yeah.
This is your undefeated season in a bowl game win.
You've earned a massive amount of real estate here, though. You had 25 to defend. Now you've got 35.
Yep.
That's almost half the game. You know, like if you're talking about 25, it's huge.
Well, what you're doing is taking away the run game. You're going to force them to pass now. Now, we've still got this one deep look. Man coverage. Throws it deep to number 7. Oh! Now, number 23, I think he started off as safety, got back there in a hurry and was there. Could have had the interception. The ball went through his heart. There was quite a lot of zip on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the arm power there meant he didn't get it, but 7 had a chance at it, but that would have been a hell of a play.
Philip McCall got to the right spot. I think I'm not even sure if he's in cover 2. He's playing an outside linebacker slot or maybe head up on the slot.
I think it's 2 sticks. It's 2nd and 20. I think he's just in cover 1, but he's just so soft.
Number 17 over the middle on half a mesh route. Can't quite get there.
And now
So we saw number 17 in motion then and turned it into sort of half of a mesh route.
Hey, and that sped up the mesh, which is what we've been asking for all day. It made his launch point closer to the O-line.
We had number 7, who was the outside left receiver, actually came across there. I'm wondering if they were trying to do a mesh, but to the left-hand side of their offensive line. Give that QB a chance to roll away from number 69.
69 took his wide rush. Number 60, the new right tackle in the game, cut him down really well. But 90 elevated his game and got that pass rush going.
Still only sending 3 with the Roughnecks, 3-man front. 69 in the face of the QB, manages to get it off, throws underneath.
And
Made
it's
by 3
well
Roughnecks. That
wrapped
is beautiful swarm tackling by the Roughnecks defense. He was not going anywhere after the catch.
So we can see the Romans haven't quite got used to this playoff situation because they've got 4th and very long, and the defense entered the field. I think they were just assuming special teams is cancelled, but we're either going to have.
I think they're going for it here.
I think they are. The coach has called his timeout.
Levi Edwards is out on the field. He's given that play. He's trying to go in for the kill. He's not going to kick the field goal. Got a player down for Roughnecks, I believe, with some cramp. Now 69 once again got his hand in the quarterback's face. Yeah. He was double teamed again. I mean, he's been the difference on this defense. He has really made what I would say is a defense which is a reasonable defense. He's elevated them.
Yeah, and he's elevated the players around him.
He has. He's freed up other players to make plays who I wouldn't normally expect to make because he's cost that Romans offense.
They're listening to your coach. They've gone trips into the boundary.
Number 7. Now number 42's had a good game. Number 42 is a good cornerback. Watch him. He will not break his
23's wondering where he's going. He's looking. He must go out there. He must go out there.
Yeah, there we go. 23's bailing. Looks left. Throws off right into the end zone. Free safety's up and batted away. Number 20. Number 20, patient, Darren Henderson. Took his time, didn't bite. Watch the quarterback's eyes.
Patient Darrell Henderson's a great name, by the way.
Darrell Henderson.
But hey,
what
he
did
there
is he didn't bite on anything. He stepped back, true free safety. He just watched the quarterback. Yeah. He got depth. So he wasn't beaten deep, but he didn't commit either way.
And he's got a great advantage knowing that he's playing the same side of the field as 69 because 69 will be in the QB's face. So he knows the ball's going to be elevated.
I mean, I'm quite surprised. Why have they not tested the corners? Why have they not thrown this ball to the pylon?
I agree, but I think part of the reason comes from the clock of the pass rush is too quick for the receivers to get downfield.
Hands it off, 25, cuts back left against the grain.
That's a good solid run. That's a great start.
That was
7
inside
yards
zone right, but there was nothing there. He immediately cut left.
And we're in a walk-off situation.
Well, 6 yards there.
Yeah, but any score ends the game.
Yeah. Well, now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Any score. Romans have had their chance. If the drives are equal and the scores are different, the game ends. So we are in a walk-off situation here. You scored, the game is over.
Yep. That'd be nice going back on the bus.
We've got this wing.
Fumble snap. Managed. Oh, who got it there?
I think it's Roman ball. I think it's Roman ball.
So if it goes to the Romans, they get another go.
Yeah. It's Roman ball.
Well, it's been a defensive struggle all day.
Now I believe that the Roughnecks get another go no matter what to try and equalise.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like the NFL where it just ends.
Do you know what's going to happen after this match? The referees are going to have a go at both of us for not knowing the intricacies of this game.
I'm fine for that. I'm currently a volunteer. They're getting paid to be here. As I always say with the referees, when I'm right, I'm loud. when I don't know, I'm usually pretty quiet. But I'm being asked to talk today.
So Romans come out again.
My absolute favourite chant comes from the crowd. Ex-player doesn't want it. Absolutely love it.
Game 11 of the season, he's only realised he doesn't want it.
I mean, you lose this football game and you think I dropped a snap in overtime. That is.
So Roughnecks have elected to go on offence. Put the Romans defence out again.
And I'm not sure why. On that momentum.
Well, maybe they think they had a decent run play. Maybe they think they're hot. They're as hot as they've been this half. They've not had a productive half.
Maybe they think that
this is as good as we've been. Perhaps we can get it now.
Yeah. And I felt a couple of drops of rain as well.
Yeah.
So taking the ball might be absolutely the best thing to do. We've got this wing. We've seen the wing. There's a huge C gap. Let's see if they can use it.
4-man rush from Romans, drops back, goes for the out pattern. Slightly underthrown to number 16.
Really, really interestingly, they kept the wing into pass pro on that.
Yeah,
number 18. 7-man pass pro.
Reece Helmsley. Now,
what you're saying there with the 7-man pass pro is that you back your QB's arm. We're going to buy you the time.
Well, it's
Let's
Max
go
Pro.
to work.
You only put 3 guys out and you say, I'm going to throw the ball. I mean, he did have time. He just couldn't deliver the ball. Spread with a narrow slot on the right-hand side. Backside blitz, chopped down, number 25. Good throw and grab. He's knocked out of bounds just before the first down, which brings up 3rd and short.
Oh, my word. And that spot is inches.
Same player, same route, this time success. But it doesn't get them the first down.
And they're on the kind of hurry up.
You got number 25 in the backfield. Are you going to look to swing him out, perhaps?
No, I mean, you're 3rd and short. I think we're banging here. You've got your wing in tight. Let's use him.
A-gap handoff. Gets enough for the first down. Keeps churning.
Huge movement. Huge
so as
push.
you called it, Coach Rooney. Look. Up the A-gap. Nice and low. Stayed strong. Kept the feet moving. I mean, guys got there, but he picked up yards after the tackle.
Anytime we see the military defense, we love to use a tight end. We love to create a C-gap and ask a question. We know that their outside linebacker's going to overhang. We know that their D lineman's been playing B-gap all game. So who is meeting me in the C-gap? On that play, the linebacker went to the C-gap, the back read it and just pushed it up the A-gap. Beautiful play.
Drops back to the pass, pressure up the middle. Goes to the outside to number 18.
It's off his helmet.
Same play again. He's obviously getting deep coverage of that cornerback who doesn't want to give up the score. That's 3 times they've gone to him on that breaking out pattern. I think that was more of a hook that time.
Threw his hands off his helmet.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that little bit of water on the ball now is coming into play. I mean, the offensive coordinator's doing right. The quarterback's delivering the ball. That's 3 times.
And they've got him in a run. They've got him in a run-pass bind here. The linebackers don't know what to do. They genuinely are a threat to run or pass the ball on this snap.
We haven't seen number 6 for a while. Hands the ball off the middle. 25 bounces right, cuts back left.
I tell you what I really want to see. I want to really see the slot receiver on the same side as the wing, what we'd call like a tray formation, because the outside linebacker is now going to have to go and cover the slot. Who is going to have the D gap? Who's going to have the C gap? They've not seen it yet. I don't know if it's in their arsenal.
We've not seen them line up in that formation. And the thing is as well, this late in the game, you go to new formations.
Yeah.
If you're a well-drilled team,
exactly.
It gives the defense a new look, doesn't it?
Yeah, if they've got it in the playbook, I want number 1 into the boundary here. If they don't have it, then I don't want them to be making stuff up.
Still got cover 1 off Chester. Drops back. Throws it again to number 85. I mean, hung on to it. The question was he in bounds?
It looks like he was pushed out, but they've spotted the ball. It's a catch. We have a first down.
Oh, my God, that is first and goal on about the 2-yard line. So that big target, number 85, they've tried him again, tried him previously on that 5 and out. This time he grabbed it.
Because on all the other pass
Look at number 6. Number 6 on the left-hand side
on
is
all
on
the
his
pass
own.
plays, they kept him in for pass pro.
Quick slant to number 6.
They've slipped him out.
Has the QB seen it? No, hands it off to 25. There's nothing there. Roman stacked the box.
Hey,
there was
fine,
nothing
though.
up the middle.
That's fine, though. You're holding linebackers.
So the question
You've
is,
seen the formation. Can you dial it up now?
Change of personnel. We've got 3 heavier guys here. Are they going to try and pound it for the first time? I mean, for me, you've got number 6 on his own with no help at the top, and that cornerback's got a choice. Do I cover the slant or do I cover the quick breaking out?
Yeah.
You know, and if he makes it wrong, that guy's on his own.
Well, I mean, I really like tray formation, inside zone right called with a slant backside. QB just take
If it's there, you've got to take it. So here we go, heavy set, QB under center.
Some sort of double wing formation.
Hand up the middle, number 44, Trundles. He was met. The question is, where was he stopped?
Hey, I mean, we are seeing the old fridge here, aren't we? The nose tackle coming in to carry the football.
And the Romans
it's a very strange wing formation. Like
first
usually,
and goal from the half-yard line. Are we going to see that again, or are we going to see the QB sneak?
But if you look, the wing backs are kind of in the C gaps. There's a fullback somewhere.
They're going to run the ball with 44, hands it off.
It's in.
Has he got enough? Oh, he's over.
We have a touchdown.
Nose tackle, number 44, comes on for 2 plays on offense. He has a touchdown to take them in front.
He might not get his name called on very often on the carry, but it's
Grant Travis.
Grant the Refrigerator Travis.
Now, we know Aberdeen can kick the ball well. They're going to play it conservative, get a point, and
if you make the type of contact on the ball that he made from 49, it's very hard to miss.
So this comes down to the snap and hold, because we know the kicker's got a decent aim, decent boot.
And actually, it's huge.
Oh.
It's huge. Because the Romans not only have to score next drive, they then must convert the extra point.
I'll go for 2. That's straight through the post. That's the best kick we've seen all day, Jonathan.
Yeah, absolute control.
And he had complete confidence there. Now, here we go.
To be honest,
10 from the 25. This is the Roman season.
The Romans don't look... There's 1 or 2 players turned away in despair, but most of them look calm. They look ready. They're going to play football.
Don't forget, they're used to winning games.
Yeah.
They are used to going out and executing. And you've got a quarterback who's got great vision. Yeah. They've scored a lot of points. They're used to scoring points. They're not going to think we can't score. They're going to think we can score this, tie it, maybe win it with 2, or tie it again with a kick. But this is the season. This is the final drive for the bowl game. Undefeated, promotion, conference winners, and a bowl game. This is it.
It's a sad old cliche, but both of these teams are winners in my eyes. They've both been promoted. They've both played the game the right way. They've struggled at times, but whatever happens here, they can be proud.
High snap, manages to feel it. 25, cuts back, beats 1 tackle. Number 30 drags him down.
Bizarrely, I think that helped him on the play.
Oliver Schaffman.
I think all the defense went, ooh, it's going to be a fumble, relaxed a little bit, spread out, and then
he kept playing.
He just gashed them with a draw.
You know, he's been a 2-way player in the second half. Number 25, Tom Petos, makes some big plays on defense. Yeah. He's played a lot of running back in the second half. Brings up 2nd and 4. Drops back, looks right at that outside breaking. Oh, beautiful. We had the receiver on the right, number 17. Start
They've
on
given
the
it
fade.
out of bounds. Real late call.
Ooh.
They discuss it. They say, no, I see his foot on the line. He is out.
Well, I mean, he set off on a fade. QB looked deep.
Yeah.
He knew he was
Comeback.
breaking off at about 12 yards.
I mean,
Great
I don't know
play
if it's
call.
a called comeback or...
Yeah, it would have been.
Well, the thing is with the air raid guys, they do just run a load of that back foot, shoulder
But I mean,
fade
the
style.
the cornerback wasn't lined up that deep. I
No.
mean, it's 6 yards. So we got a lot of space on the right-hand side, backside blitz off 56, picks up number 8, great grab. Underneath, is that enough for the first?
Yes, it looks it,
Nathan Jukes, captain on this Romans offense, plays wide receiver. That's enough for a first.
You've been, you were asking for the trips early, and most of this overtime, we've seen them in this ace formation. 2 by 2, even across the field.
I mean, it's straightforward this. You're playing man coverage. You just got to beat your man, and the QB's got to deliver it. But on the other side, a bad throw, and you've got nothing. QB rolls right. He's looking downfield. Throws crossbody. That is a dangerous throw.
Yeah, it
He
is.
threw crossbody there, Jonathan, and that is the sort
And
of
we
throw.
have a flag, and
Oh.
this is huge. This is going to be
It's a late hit on
taunted.
number 90.
71. It's going to be unsportsmanlike. It's going to be
Against the
torn
offense.
in. Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah.
Number 71, Andrew Higgett. If it is him, this could really hurt his team. It's gone back against the offense. See what the referee says.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offence, number 71. That's a 15-yard penalty, 2nd down. This is 71's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
And we have to say, Jonathan, this has been a game that's been played in the right spirit.
Yeah,
It's been hard hitting. It's been great football to watch defensively.
It's a tough one to get that because he was going in to ensure his quarterback was protected, and he went in a little bit too much.
Yeah.
It's a shame because he's trying to sort his QB out.
96 on it, 69 under pressure. That is a great throw towards number 86, but he couldn't hold on to it. Great defensive play. I believe that was number 23 came in, went straight to the ball.
We can see here that 92 is irate with that hit, but it was actually his teammate. 90 cut him. There was a bit of a fouling up of legs. His teammate cut him, and actually the nerves, the tension's kicking in. But you got to remember, if you're a roughneck,
this is the
2
season
snaps,
for both of them.
2
And
snaps and
you
you win the
ball with
ball. Keep your lid on it. Do not give away a penalty.
Well, we've still got man coverage, 1 high, 2 high now for the
3rd and
Roughnecks.
22.
Plenty of time, throws over
We
the
have
middle.
holding.
Oh!
We have holding, but this penalty is going to be declined. Number 44, I don't know where he's been all game at nose, but he brought an intense rush. He's just scored the go-ahead score. He bull
We
rushed
have a
the centre.
flag on the play
It's going
now.
to be holding.
Now, number 33, Oliver Schaffman, who I believe is playing one of the interior linebackers, got to his drop spot, made a great read,
Yeah.
got a single hand to the ball there, batted the ball down.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
Now,
it's
you've got
on-
to decline that and force 4th down, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's holding on the centre. Number 44 saved up that juice from the score.
Yeah, I mean,
and
he's
just
been
ran
re-energised, hasn't
him
he?
Over.
He's got that go-ahead score in overtime.
This
So
is
here we
the
go.
ball
This is
game.
it. This is not the ball game. This is the season.
They've given it the
Last
trips.
play
Trips
of the
bunch.
season for both
Not
teams.
quite
Are they going to
bunch.
run that? They're going to run that bubble screen or single it off to the right. Looks left. He's got time.
69.
Oh, and who's
with
there to finish the
game-ending
playoff?
sack.
Who is there to finish the playoff? That talisman for the defense, number 69, Andrew Watts. He's created havoc in the backfield all game long. He's been playing tackle for the offense. What a game and what a finish. That was
Yeah.
a great game. I mean, Chester Romans are absolutely gutted.
Yeah,
But let's think
absolutely.
about it. Unbeaten regular season,
Promotion. A whole year to
promotion,
look forward
2
to.
playoff wins. They have played some great football. Number 54, who I'd say for me, for the Romans, number 54 has been their MVP.
Absolutely, yeah.
Scott Gillam has had a great game. He's been everywhere on that pitch.
There's
He's
been a few
absolutely
standouts. The young
inconsolable.
receiver, number 7, has been working extremely hard all day and has made some great plays. The O-line has been pretty good all day. They've put under a extreme amount of pressure. But here we go. The Roughnecks with a walk-off sack are doing pretty well.
Now, what I'd like to do, I'm going to speak to Mick Tyler and ask him if he could ask either of the head coaches to come over when they have a minute and have a quick chat. So the last 2 games I've covered here at Druids Park, both of them have been nail-biters and totally different. We've had a shootout.
Yeah.
And now we've had a 6-6 tied in full time.
We just had a really nice moment. Roughnecks quarterback has just come over. Caesar's quarterback is sat down. He's consoled. He's a little bit upset, and he's coming into the sideline, and he's lifted him back up, and he's
well, I mean, this Romans program, they may have lost that game, but they've had a stellar season.
Oh,
they
absolutely.
can look back on this season and say we were undefeated regular season.
Yeah.
We were tied going into overtime.
Division champs.
You know what I mean? Promotion. And having a look at now the size of the squad, the number of coaches they've got, they're going to go into Division 1. And they're not going to go straight back down. They're going to be a team that's going to go in, they're going to hold their position, hopefully improve next year. So it's a tough break. Somebody's got to lose, but, they're not losers. They just got outscored.
Yeah.
Aberdeen Roughnecks, what's that bus going to be like going home tonight?
It's going to be rowdy, one word. I mean, it's a little bit of a stereotype to talk about Scotsmen and drinking, but I think they've deserved it today.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a quick stop at Tesco's, and we'll be well away here.
So... just out of the shot, we can actually see Gary Lee from Baffa. He does have various medals to hand out. We have, if you could talk us through this, Gary, we've got a couple of trophies to give off as well. If you could just let the viewers know, and hopefully we'll get these up on camera in a second.
Yeah, obviously there's medals for the winners and the losers, but of course we've got the winners solver and the runners-up solver, and of course the MVP.
Yes, the MVP. We will be revealing that soon, and what we've seen today is defensive players come in and stamp themselves on the game.
Yeah,
I would say, Jonathan, I would say this on the whole. I would actually say that the Romans had a better defense overall than the Roughnecks. I would say their defense held together better, but you got that little extra bit of talent on the Roughnecks.
Yeah.
Number 69 has really caused the Romans trouble.
But I think one of the things is, I think that the Romans, to be honest, had a little bit of a better offense, which made the Roughnecks' defensive job harder.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they were certainly more dynamic. They competed better in multiple phases of the game. They just made some horrendous mistakes, and they couldn't handle the pass rush. Late on, when they settled
from a three-man front as well.
Yeah,
for a three-man front.
On, they settled 69 down by running at him.
Double teaming him with two linemen.
They made some great progress, but the drives were always ended by huge penalties, huge sacks.
Yeah.
So actually, whilst you're saying you think the Romans' defense was better, I think the Roughnecks' defense played it particularly well to contain the more sort of
explosive
excited
offense.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see the players exchanging handshakes.
Oh, it's been a long ride, and they've both really won the prize that they wanted.
Let's see if we can get one of the referees in for a quick chat. Just hopefully going to ask the head referee, Amir Brooks, to come over and give us a quick chat for a minute, just talk about the game. So this is Amir Brooks. He's come up from South Wales. We've got 3 of our referees, Amir Brooks, Russell Newton and Darryl Morton have come up, part of BAFRA, trying to spread referees around, get the best crew for the bowl games. So, Amir, tell us what you think about that game today.
Well, that was a hell of a game. I mean, we came a long way. We've travelled a long way for this game, and so to referee such a really good. It was a very enthralling game to referee, I found.
So here's a question: you're used to the refereeing the divisional games down in the south. I mean, one of the things we don't have in Division 2 is a north-south final. Haven't seen these teams here. I mean, comparisons in terms of quality, would you say a Division 2 team from up here would stack up against a Division 2 down south, or is it difficult to tell?
They certainly would, yeah. I mean, what we saw today, I mean, both the defences, 2 of the best defences that I've seen all season in all 3 of the Premier First and Second divisions. So they would certainly stack up with the southern teams.
Brilliant, brilliant. Your highlight of the game?
I don't know. It must be the whole game. I think it was just
Number 44,
I
nose tackle, game-winning
I think-
score.
Yes, and also I think the defensive stand that Chester put in the first half.
Yeah.
They stopped the ball. Was it on the 1 yard line? I think that was excellent defence there.
Well, Amir, thanks very much. We really enjoyed it. You did a great job. It was one of those games where, even though there was a large amount of flags, it didn't seem like the referees were ruining the game or interfering with the game. It still flowed. So, great job from you guys.
Cheers,
We really enjoyed it. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
So, are you going to go to this camera now, are you?
We're going to announce the MVP when we call him up, all right? Yeah. Otherwise, we don't mention any names for anybody. Yeah. Or we do keep him at the back, though, 69, because he's the last one.
Okay, so what we've asked for is we've asked Mick Tyler to go and speak to both head coaches. Clearly, they're spending a little bit of time addressing their teams, highs and lows of winning and losing, but hopefully going to get a quick interview with both of them. Gary Lee's going to hand out the trophies, and the runner-up, not loser, the runner-up, because let's face it, both these teams were undefeated in the regular season. There are no losers here. We've got two undefeated teams. Here we go, the referees.
So we've got the
Amir Brooks.
head coach coming in now as well. Congratulations.
So here we go. We have Rory Collinson, brand new head coach for the Division 2 Northern champions, undefeated Aberdeen Roughnecks. Have we got this on camera?
I think we do. We're good.
So, Rory, an undefeated season, promotion, and an overtime bowl game win.
Yeah, brilliant. First off, credit to Chester. That was a hell of a game. We knew they were tough. This was definitely the two teams to be in this game, and I think we made a spectacle of it. But at the end of the day, our guys, they stepped up, they put their bodies on the line when it mattered, and delighted with the season and delighted with the win.
I mean, by the end of the game, we had a lot of your guys playing both ways, not so much on Chester. So you asked a lot of those key players, and they delivered. I mean, what are you going to say to these guys on the bus home?
Well, we're staying the night tonight, so it might get a bit messy. But yeah, the guys put the body on the line. There's some guys that are playing with like ACL injuries that he received like 6 months ago, and he's back. There's guys playing with a torn hamstring, so they were playing both ways as well, and it was absolute class. I can't ask any more of every single one of the people in that huddle. Just delighted to get away with the win.
So, I mean, before the game, we were expecting a bit of a shootout in terms of score, and you said you wanted to keep it close, slow the game down, establish the run game. You stuck to that game plan. It didn't give you too much success during the game. However, when it mattered, you were able to punch in that final score. At what point did you make the decision to go from spread to that heavy set QB under centre and put number 44, the nose tackle, in as a running back? Is that something you'd practice?
It's something we've done previously in the season. It was 2 yards out. We know number 44, Trav. His range is 3 yards. That's what we like to say. So when he was 3 yards out, we thought we're giving him the ball twice. If he falls forward twice, he's got the touchdown. And it worked.
So, Jonathan, you got questions?
No, just want to say well done. I can see your, that emotional fatigue, having been there. You've got to make that call. I just want to say really well done. I think get back to your team. There's a huddle of boys over there that want to
Rory,
see you.
that
Thank
first
you
year as
so
head
much.
coach, that's an amazing job you've done. Well done. Congratulations.
And credit for Bath for putting this game in the end.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
So clearly one of the happiest men on the pitch there.
Yeah, bubbling over with emotion. It's such a tough thing to do, to be that father figure, that development role for your whole
Interesting
team.
for both of these teams, first-year head coaches.
Well, spectacular for both of them. They've got if this is what they're doing after a year, imagine what they're going to do after an off-season.
And Chester are going to be bitterly disappointed. They were in it, but what they do now is they say, look, that's his first year. It's the first year with a new system.
Yeah.
We've proved ourselves through the regular season. We're going to come back stronger next year. Yes, you want the bowl game win, but you've got promotion. So, I mean, you've been there.
Yeah.
2 years ago, you've been there. I've been there. I've lost a bowl game. It's absolutely gut-wrenching. At the time, I thought it was probably my last game.
Yeah.
What do you do from that point? You've lost this game. It hurts. It does hurt. What do you do? I mean, how long do you take off?
I've been all over. 2009, we got taught a lesson by Birmingham in the final with the Newcastle Raiders. I quit my job. I moved to America for 9 months and tried to...
That's a bit of an extreme reaction.
I know, but I worked at a high school, I worked at university, I applied my trade, and I got better with the intent of coming back. making a difference. The
So
last
for you,
one,
that was just
it was
fuel to ignite
cathartic.
you.
It was a cathartic process. It actually gave me a lot of. I thought, I can do it. I'm matching these guys. The second time, it was just the next day, off-season starts, let's build. And I think both of these programs are going to be like that. And here's the Romans, led by number 54.
Number 54 had an excellent game, Scott Gillam. I mean, it's been a great season for these Romans, and they'll be absolutely gutted.
And
but
right now,
looking
it's
back,
not what they want to hear, but they should have their heads up high. They've been fantastic. Credit to the program. Like we said all game, not one Roman took a step back. Didn't work out in the end, but no one stopped.
10-game win streak as well.
No one quit, and they can be extremely proud. And they're going to set some noses a joint in Division 1 next
well,
year.
what we've got at the end of the season, we've still got a big squad here. So you're going to go out recruit. You're going to get rid of those injuries. So you're going to start that next season in Division 1. Step up in physicality.
Absolutely.
But we've seen this defense here that they can shut down quite a hard.
And the Division 1 that they likely go into has seen
Sort
a
of
few
Halton.
teams. Yeah, we've saw
Leicester's leaving.
Leicester's
That's nice.
leaving.
Leicester's no longer there.
Sandwell will be
Sandwell
there.
probably be the top
favourites. But Doncaster and Coventry have had a difficult year.
They've had struggles.
They've had a difficult year this year, and the Romans have to be thinking now, we can not only survive, but we can pick a few of these guys off.
So, I mean, looking down this Chester Romans squad, we've had some great performances here. Number 10, Byron Ward, not his day today, but he stayed calm. We noticed in overtime he didn't panic. He tried to execute the game plan. He'll be disappointed. But he'll be back next year, looking to set up some passing figures. Yeah, I think that Aberdeen celebration tonight, if they're staying over.
I don't know if I know Newcastle's a party town, but I'm not sure it's ready for this.
Okay, we're just about to be joined with the first-year head coach of this Chester Romans undefeated regular season team, Levi Edwards. His first team now, clearly Levi, not the result you wanted. However, undefeated in the regular season, promoted, tied 6-all going into extra time. So you didn't win on the day, but you certainly gave a good account of yourself, and you've had an excellent season. What have you got to say to this team?
I can't thank these guys enough. The buy-in from every player since we've started in January has been amazing. This is a fantastic building block for us. We can take this forward now and build on this, and kind of propel us now into the upper divisions of the league. So
that's a good attitude, because next year you're Division 1. The games are going to be harder, but you should be relishing that because you've got a decent structure, a good program, a little bit of talent peppered through a stout defense.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of guys coming back. We've recruited really well. So there's a lot to build on. The guys have really bought in and played well. So we got a lot of positives going forward. I know it's quite a negative moment right now, but a lot of positives going forward.
Yeah, and I just wanted to offer my commiserations, Coach. In fact, well done today. The program looks in good shape, and I can't wait to keep an eye on you next year as well. Congratulations.
Runners up for Division 2 North. Hard luck, mate. Hard luck.
Okay, next up we have the victorious Aberdeen Roughnecks. Number 16, Christopher Breen. First up. That's good to see you. We've got the Chester Romans clapping them off. I mean, this game has been played in the right spirit tonight. It was a hard-hitting game.
The final whistle, the Roughnecks QB lifted up the Romans QB. They've played as warriors. One team's, gone home with the prize or whatever, but they've both got promotion. Both never took a step back, and absolute credit to the programs.
Yeah, it's live. You want to say something?
I love you, Mama.
So once again, congratulations to the coaching staff. Perry George, Bryce Stevenson and Rory Collinson. We've had a change of coaching staff, their first year at Aberdeen Roughnecks.
They've done a fantastic job, really. Quite a small staff.
Yep.
They've obviously made sure that they're working on both sides of the ball. They're getting themselves around. Knowledgeable guys, and they've produced a hell of a program here.
Defensive coordinator Bryce Stevenson coming up. Head coach Rory Collinson. And we'll now look towards our MVP for the match. Number 69, Andrew Watts.
Yeah, and number 69 come back.
So, MVP for this Division 2 Northern Bowl game final goes to number 69, Andrew Watts. Playing defensive end, offensive tackle.
Game, huge amount of pressure, and a walk-off sack. You don't get many walk-off sacks.
No, that is
an amazing achievement.
And the best thing is he'll be able to celebrate with number 44, another defensive lineman for that go-ahead score. We need to grab Grant Travis. Okay, just before we finish off, Jonathan, we're going to have a quick chat. It's not often that we get a nose tackle on a 30 front and say, how did it feel winning, scoring the bowl game winning touchdown?
Well, I get to play fullback occasionally. Asked Roy for it all season long. Call my number, got it.
So when you got out there, did you know you were going to get the ball?
Yeah.
And what were you thinking at that point?
Going in the end zone.
No pressure?
Well, you certainly did.
No pressure. It took you 2 attempts. What did you think after the first one?
Had their back, going straight after it. 56, Matt had it for me. Great blocker, went in behind him, everything.
Fantastic job.
Well, the defensive line can celebrate because not only have you shut down a prolific Romans offense.
And to be honest, when you watch this back, at times in the game, we were saying we need more from 44. We had huge pass rush from 69. We had huge pass rush from 90. I was like, I need more from 44. I want to see him in the game.
Well, we got it, didn't we?
Not only the score invigorated you, energy levels through the roof. When you ran over the centre, drew the holding penalty, that ended their drive. Yeah. Both sides of the ball, huge impact at the end of the game.
Just up against that front, it's hard going, especially nose tackle. I've only played it in the playoffs the last 3 games, so still learning it, but getting there. Thanks to
well, that's almost a fairy. Well, that is a fairy tale ending there for Grant Travis, number 44, nose tackle, except for 2 plays on offense. Go ahead, score in overtime in a bowl game. So congratulations.
Fantastic.
Have a great
well
night
done,
tonight.
Mate. Enjoy yourself tonight.
Okay, we'll wrap up then, Jonathan.
Yep.
All that's left to say is thanks very much for coming down and helping us out. Thanks to all the guys, the technical crew.
Absolutely. The fans as well that have made the trip because they've done an incredible job. Apologies for the blackout in the first quarter. Still getting over the technical stuff, but as long as it remains free and for volunteers, there's going to be a little bits of ups and downs. But 2 great programs.
Yeah.
Well-run event. Great surface. The lights held out. I've really enjoyed myself.
So
tonight.
all that's left now is Brit Ball next weekend at Leeds, and then after that, both of us back to the uni season. You in the Premiership, me in Division 2.
Yep.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
It's one of the hardest things about football in this country is that it's year round. It affects your family quite a lot. One of the greatest things about Brit Ball is it's all year round.
Yeah, if you
so
want it,
in 2
you
or
can
3
fill your
weeks'
boots.
Time, we're starting practice. We'll get going, and hopefully Vikings TV can drop into a few of the
just
the
out of
uni games
interest,
as well.
have you got set who you're getting over on scholarship this year? Or you're not found out yet? For Durham Saints?
we have. We're in constant contact.
What
with the guys
positions
that
are you
we're
looking to pick up?
Same as usual. We're pretty much always going to select a quarterback. We're going to fill out a couple of skill positions. We're going to get a couple of big guys, and we're going to get a couple of defensive leaders. It's the same every day. Whether it's a backer or a safety, doesn't matter too much. The biggest thing that they bring is that weight room culture, that attitude.
I think the thing I noticed when you took over there, sorry to steal the thunder of these two teams here, is up until you took over, it was a team that was relying on the strength of their imports. So they're always good regular season. As soon as they met a big programme, Stirling or Birmingham, they lost. Whereas the difference now, I feel, is it's those non-scholarship players.
Absolutely.
It's bringing up the base level of the team and then throwing in the talent.
Anyone who's been with me knows that my motto's always been, for the last couple of years at Durham, the ceiling has always been incredibly high. And I'm trying to raise the floor. Okay. And now my 22nd starter is much closer to my number 1 starter than it's ever been.
Brilliant.
And that's how we build our club.
Well, I wish you all a success in the university season, and hopefully I'll see you. However, the chance of me commentating when you guys are playing and I'm coaching pretty slim. And that is everything we have to say. It's been a great match. Thanks very much for watching.
Cheers,
and good night.